What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
I'm feeling great. Another victory. Another morning show. Playoff hope still alive. Things looking amazing. The energy is bright and perfect. Yeah, man, I'm feeling amazing today, man. I'm feeling amazing right now. Life's good. Can't complain. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
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 Undefeated in the New Year, baby.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
funny you bring that up.
Huh. Hello.
Most people are
Huh.
off.
Huh.
You know, kind of like last week. Remember?
Yeah.
On Monday, everyone uses that Monday
Yes,
after
sir.
Christmas as a day off of work.
Mhm.
Same thing with New Year's. New Year's Day was just yesterday. Monday, all people across the world, across the nation, they're taking off today.
They are. This is accurate.
We're here, though, again.
These are factuals, man.
And feeling good. Yesterday felt right. Felt right. Was listening to some
Felt
Drake
melodic.
this morning.
Ooh, you had the drizzy on?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Show me a good time.
Okay.
Feel like the good
Okay.
times are back.
I like it.
Over popped up too after that. I think Miss Me.
Mm-hmm.
The next song, it all felt so fitting to what's going on right now.
I like your approach. See, I was on the other spectrum. I had Lil Durk playing this morning. You know what I'm saying? Burglars and murderers. Then after that, had a little Kodak on this joint, little walk. You feel me? Like Pooh Shiesty, guard up. I'm on that type of energy, man. For everybody that's been doubting them, for everybody that's been coming at them, for everybody that been hollering about tanking, you can't win it. Oh, Deke,
You got a rant. Go.
No, I'm good right now, bro. We'll get
Come
to
on,
it.
dude.
We'll get to it, man. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Dropping that bomb with the fake fans. Throw up the middle finger.
But just know
Feels good.
That's been my energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't even bump rap music before 10 o'clock because that's just the rule. Shout out to everybody that know what we talking about. But yeah, man. I just feel like that's the vibe right now, man. Seeing how them boys playing last night. You seen the energy Najee was on. Najee was on that energy last night. We know KP8 was on that energy. I know you seen GP walk over, homie, big boy style. You know what he was on. So you can see. You act like Minkah on that too, man. Come on, bro. I was with my little, how do you call it, the little shiesty, man? I was gonna put mine on too, man.
Pickett might need to gift everyone on the
that's
team
what I'm
one of
saying,
those.
man. Once we go ahead and get into the playoffs, we're gonna start that. Whenever we get into the playoffs, that following show, me and Deke here with the shiesties on. I'm just throwing it out there. All right, we're gonna start the show out with the shiesties doing just for GP once we in the postseason. All right,
I say we do it.
I'm for real. Watch,
Can you get one for me?
man. I got. Listen, we in
Do
there.
they come
I
with
got you.
little steel logos too?
I'll look about those ones because I have ones with the still logo up there. But I got you though.
Okay.
We're gonna make sure we get square, all right?
Thank you.
Because that's how we feeling, man. That's how I'm feeling right now, bro. It's just a vibe, man.
Thanks for bringing that up, dude.
I'm dead serious, bro. Like that shit had me hot, bro. It was hot.
I know I was one of the ones
Mhm.
saying, like, hey, we're not tanking.
Yep.
You let the season play out.
Mhm.
I feel like we got a lot of good things going despite our record 2-6. But not only me, you. Like, as a show,
Come on,
we
bro.
were there
Come on, bro.
the whole time.
Come on, bro. Like literally, we've had a chance to see this thing grow. Where it was in its infancy, when people were really optimistic. Then we saw when everybody abandoned ship, and they were like, "Yo, it's over. Tank is done. Fire him. Fire him. Fire everyone." And then we got to that hopeful section where we was like, "Yo, we done made it to the bye week. We got a chance to reload the clip. I'm just letting you know we feeling all right right now." And then we started headshotting people, Deke. And they ain't want to believe us, Deke. They ain't want to believe it. When they seen it, they weren't trying to believe it. They was trying to knock it for every reason they could knock it for. But now what they going to say, Deke? Deke, we done got this thing to where we are literally right here in the mix last week of the season, baby. This what you want. This what you want. And just for it to be the first season removed from your Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like, this where we at right now, man. Come on, bro. I love it. Love it. Love it. So, let's start. You ready to start? I want to start how we start the show off, baby, because we're feeling good this morning, baby. And if y'all feeling good, hit them with a little, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, let us know where you're tuning in from in the comment section. We give you the big boy shout-outs to start this victory show off the right way. Let's go.
Dennis Wilson says he's got Meek Mill's playing.
Tell you, man. We set the tone early this morning.
Stoogie McLean. Oh, no. He's not saying where he's tuning in from. But he does have a compliment for Robinson.
Uh-oh.
Robinson started strong.
No, he did. He did.
But then he says he missed a couple tackles. Like what I saw,
He
though.
did. He did. It was straight, though. He was straight.
Damon Brown, Megan, Georgia, the 478 in the building.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I'm seeing from
Let's go.
93.
Let's
Our
go.
O-line played well. Also, shout out to Trina.
Let's go. Shout out to Trina. And shout out to that Ravens pack also, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know about that. That Ravens pack is definitely hitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dearest Mayo, the 410, Baltimore, Maryland.
Love that. Love that. Let me tap my real quick. I got the homie Juice Box 32 says Denver to Duval. And then you know I got to holler at Steelers Girl 517. She tuning in always from Lansing, Michigan. And then after that, let's talk about the homie Craig Ellis, the 717 Lancaster, PA, and the homie DJ Trey Money, the 606 Kentucky Victory Monday, baby. Oh, and then I'm going to pass it back to you after I talk about Spice Creations, because Spice Creations is tapping in from Houston, Texas. What up, though? H-Town in the building.
Dean Strevel, the 434, Charlottesville, Virginia. The best ever, 717 Harrisburg, PA.
Let's go. Let's go.
After high school show, the 757. VA.
Let's go.
I think that's all I got.
I like
Antonio Carter tuning in from the 804 VA.
Well, let's get it. Let's get it. I think we got two upper rooms to start
Yeah.
the day off, man. Well, holla at y'all. Pat O'Leary and Dennis Wilson. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And welcome to the family. We greatly appreciate y'all support. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I'll go over a couple of these super chats to start off as well. Official Momentum. What's good, guys? Happy New Year.
Let's
Hashtag
go.
integrity.
Let's go.
That's right. That's what integrity's all about. You don't tank. You just keep winning ball games and
One game at a
let
time,
the
man.
chips fall as they may. And literally everything has gone right.
Come on, baby.
Literally everything has
Come
gone
on.
right. It's funny. We were talking about, hey, should we sit TJ or start sitting some players? TJ's banged up, or a couple other guys got some nagging injuries going on. No, because we still got a chance.
Yep. Stay in the fight, regardless of what anybody thinks.
And TJ's looking better.
He is. He's getting more healthier.
He's
down
somehow
the
getting
stretch,
healthy
man.
as it's going on.
Looks like he's getting healthier, man. So I'm liking that. Absolutely.
Dennis Wilson, Happy New Year from the 740.
Let's go.
Victory Monday in full effect.
Yes,
God
sir.
bless.
Yes, sir.
We got the King Herc in that lab getting this lift in.
Oh, yeah.
Catch
oh,
y'all
yeah.
after.
Let's get it, man. Got to take care of that, baby. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Alan Burrow, just giving us some support.
Shout out to Allen.
And I think that's it.
Should just
No.
Yep, CJ, and after that, we good.
CJ's Gamer Tank says Mitch is better. Clown. Najee needs to go. Clown.
Ooh,
Fire Tomlin. Clown.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I guess out of those three clown emojis. You know what? No, I'm not one of them. Because I never said Najee needs to go.
Yeah, you're
Am I
good.
wrong?
You're good.
I never said he needs to go.
Well, and context does matter.
I said
That version of Najee that we saw last night has not been the version of Najee that we've been seeing all year. That version last night,
Yeah, ever since the Falcons game, we've been seeing this.
yeah,
Najee.
absolutely. That's a different
And
version.
this was actually probably his best game.
I
of
think it was
all
his
of them.
best game that I've ever seen him in professionally, bro. Like, I was trying to think, like, statistically, maybe he's had a better, but just in terms of his demeanor, in terms of, like, that, like, pissed off, like, I'm at you every single time he's running, barking at dudes, like, I don't never see that version of Najee like that, man.
Whenever I was watching it this morning, he was flexing on it, dude. He was running out. He gave
Like,
the dude,
think
like,
about
the
that,
dag
bro.
leg, and then just, like, kind of ran him over a little bit, then got up and started flexing on it.
Yeah. We won't never see Najee get like that.
Nah.
I like that version of Najee. That's the mean version. That's the scary version. That's the I'm going to hit you and I'm going to tell you about it version. I like that a lot, man.
Leah Warren says cold TG right now while I'm still on my victory high.
Uh-oh. Yeah. He was over here last night trying to send a little text. Hey, man, I ain't saying you got to get rid of him. I'm just saying this ain't long term. That's what he said. You start shifting. He was like, yo, this is not a long term solution. And I'm like, yo, I'm with you.
This 1-2 punch could be a long term
But we don't need it to be long term. I need 3 solid, just crazy years like that, man.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I ain't asking for 10. Just give me. I need a window. All them running backs like that have a window. I just need my 3 years for it to be here. That's it, man. But you know, he was starting to come around a little bit. But he's on the whole big picture element of it. We ain't thinking big picture, but we living for the moment. Let's go.
Well, that was the last of the super chats.
Beautiful, man. So, yeah, let's tap into this thing, man. Obviously, the Steelers getting the win last night. To me, man, I thought it was just really impressive because they grew up, or continuing to grow up. we talk about where this team has come from at the beginning of the season, where they were figuring out how to win, and how many of those close games they dropped, whether it be from a turnover, whether it be from a mishap on defense, whether it be from a guy out of his gap, whether it be from a guy up front getting beat in protection. It was just always something, it seemed like, and that was the biggest reason why our record was what it was at that time. But to see how they've been able to get through all of that, get through that bye week, and now I think it was 5-2 since the bye. Am I tripping?
6-2. We're
6-2. Yeah, 6-2 since the bye. It's like, man,
one of the games we lost with Mitch.
Absolutely, man. Putting together a nice performance right now. And the thing too, and I know you want to throw in with Mitch. I got you. But the big thing to me, man, is just this continued growth and development of this squad, man. Where we've had errors in the past, turnovers offensively, we cut down on those. Where we've had errors in the past, not being able to be consistent against the run, we were better at that. When we talk about creating turnovers, we're better at that. And this is just one of those things where this is how you got to grow. This is how you have to let this thing marinate. It's never a quick fix. It wasn't going to be like this week 1. It wasn't going to be like this in week 4. But this is why you trust that process. This is why you allow, these guys to go through this journey, the good and the bad with that, because now we all feel very confident about them because we know what they've had to endure to get here, man. And like I said, man, for me, man, like I said, it was really impressive just to see them be able to do that on the road, hostile environment with a lot at stake. Once again, man, they're playing very meaningful football in January, and this is just something that you can't substitute. Regardless of if they make the postseason or not, these type of moments right here are what you build upon. These type of moments right here are what you call foundation. And when you talk about building 5-10 years down the line, we look back on these type of moments, and it's just good to see that they're passing those tests now versus it being all right, boy, they passed this one, they failed 2 in a row. They passed this test and they failed 3 tests in a row. It's good to see that the consistency is starting to show up also, man. And that's, like I said, the team part of it. But that's been this journey that they've been on, man. And like I said, it's just really dope to see that.
We'll look back at this time period, that Christmas Eve game, the Immaculate Connection. You brought it up. 5-10 years from now, who knows? This could have been the start of something. These 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see, man.
Back-to-back game-winning drives. Bro, this was the one. This was the one. The Raiders game was awesome, clearly. Ravens on the road. Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
That's big, bro. Absolutely.
That's huge. Another, game-winning drive. Talk about 7-esque from last game. I mean, this was it.
Yeah.
This was it.
Come on, bro.
Scrambling out of the pocket. Need 7 points. What was it, 3 minutes left?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Efficient. We got some nice runs in, too. But some of those throws, I mean.
Absolutely, bro.
Absolute daggers, absolute dots. The one to Najee. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Rolling out to the left. How about my buddy text? I want to hear your take on this.
Yeah.
He texted the group. Thought he was trying to throw to Sims there. No way. There's just no way. Do you have a take?
It was a completion.
Oh, come on.
No. The only reason I laughed, because it's funny you said that, I literally had...
Say that?
Yes.
Did he? No,
I swear he texted me. He was like, bro, was he really trying to throw it to him? Hey, bro, I can't make it up. That's why I thought TG was just being funny, but it's funny that your man since you said the same thing.
Sims was out of bounds.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm like, there's just no way.
Yeah, but it's funny that your man said, because for a fact, he definitely said that. I'm like...
He's trying to throw some shade on Pickett. He was a Mitch guy at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
I kind of get why he's saying that.
That makes sense then, because I was over here like, dang, T, why you gotta do that, man? It was a completion, it was a touchdown. I'm not even tripping or whatever else. But the Bears, he funny, yo. What the heck? But no, man, the thing that I thought was dope was this too. The things that we criticized, or that I specifically criticized Kenny Pickett on earlier in the season, was him not anticipating throws. He would not anticipate. If he could not see the guy open, he wasn't throwing that ball. That was a part of his issue, in that first part of the season and stuff. And it's just good to see that he's continuing to get more comfortable with some of this. When we talked about, I think it was the Panthers game. That was when we first started to see some of the was it
Which game? Who you talking about?
I'm talking
Pickett?
about for Pickett. He was
Mitch played.
No, Mitch was Panthers. He was the Falcons game then. He came back the following week. Falcons game was when we first started.
It was Falcons. Falcons. Then he got knocked out.
He got hurt in the
Ravens game. Mitch played Carolina, then Kenny played the Raiders game.
The Raiders, that's what it was. I'm tripping. Yeah, so Raiders game was we started to see some of those anticipatory throws and stuff, right? And just when we talk about throwing a guy open, and then obviously last night was the highlight of that, whether you're talking the Steven Sims throw, whether you want to debate the Najee end zone throw. To me, I thought it was to Najee. I'm leaving it as it was.
And
to
Najee caught
bro.
it. Nice catch.
I'm leaving it as it was to Najee. I'm not listening to any Steven Sims slander. All right, I'm with you, Deke. That was the Najee. That's what.
And he 3rd and 8, bro.
And he was anticipating it. That's how I look at it, man. Because to me, that's what you have to do at this level. You're not always going to see the guy open, and when you're waiting for the guy to physically and visually see him open, by then it's too late. So you do have to understand and trust your receivers, and the receivers have to reward you in the same time. Of if you're going to put it there, they got to go make those plays, and that's the give and take of that dynamic, quarterbacks and receivers. And it was good to see that both parties doing what they were needed to do. Kenny taking chances, putting that ball where he needed to put it, and the receivers, man, going up there and making some big plays, man. Steven Sims, bro, I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. We say you look like little AB, but you showing up as acting like him a little bit out there, baby. Holla. But to me, man, that was really impressive. And then also for Kenny, man, just his ability to maneuver through the pocket. He took some shots. I thought that he continues to show his toughness. GP, George Pickens.
Bro, when that one, what was it, 3rd and 14?
Kyle Hamilton. When he hit,
was insane.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about in the sense of, for Kenny, though, man, some of the shots that he was taking, man, when he took that one from Kyle Hamilton, to just see him, obviously grimacing and stuff like that, he got that 7 in him. He got that 7 in him, baby. Got to give me a little grimace. But for him to come back, though, man, and just continue to just perform. Continue to not allow the pressure of the moment, not allow the pressure of those Ravens defenders, because at times, man, they were winning. It wasn't egregious, and I thought our offensive line played really well, but the Ravens they're a good team. They're a really good defense, and there was times where they were creating pressure. But even with that, man, Kenny just going through his bag to, whether it's escaping out the back door, whether it's maneuvering and climbing the pocket, whether it's just shrugging off a defender, whatever it was, he was going to do whatever was necessary to extend the play and not allow a negative to happen. And I just thought his decision-making was good, too. Being aggressive when he needed to be, but at the same time, taking the throws that were there for you. And this is, one of the things that we've talked about before. A lot of people want him to have 300-plus passing yards, air it out. But it's like, that's not necessary always. What's necessary is you keep this thing where it's close. You're not turning that ball over. But when we need you to execute and we need you to cut it loose, give me that. Give me a drive or two. Can you do that? And it was just good to see him replicate that once again and continue to stack those type of performances, because as a team, you start to get that type of confidence, man. When we talk about winning being contagious and winning close games like this, you start to believe. And that's the scary part, man. When you're a team that just believes you can't lose close games, yeah, it's like that mentality, a certain confidence that you play with, but you don't get that without going through these moments and actually having to win. And it can't be versus bums. It can't be versus teams that you're favorited in or in games where it's a big talent gap. It has to be versus a quality opponent. And I know people will try to discredit it. Oh, it's no Lamar. Man, that team's still been winning without Lamar.
Dude,
it ain't
Tyler
the same.
Huntley. We made Tyler Huntley look like Lamar out there yesterday.
Bro, seriously, bro. Seriously.
We couldn't contain him.
Yeah. And yeah, it was, I'm just saying, like, bro, not again. It was one point in time I was like, yo, not again.
You know what? Whenever I was looking at the box score, my take wasn't bad in terms of saying I think we're going to hold him to under 100 yards rushing. We held JK under 93, yes, but they ended up with 120 total because Tyler Huntley got 24 on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones just pissed me off so much because it looked like we were playing great defense. Oh, we got him on the ropes. All of a sudden, Tyler Huntley looks like Lamar Jackson. It's like, this isn't supposed to happen right now.
And I was over here like, and this that nonsense, why they going to try to justify him being a fourth alternate for the daggone Pro Bowl or whatever alternate he was. I was like, yo, this that nonsense right here, man.
Yeah, like he wasn't bad in the game.
He wasn't. He played better than I thought he was. I thought
he's making nice throws. I mean, they were all to Mark Andrews, literally basically exclusively to him.
And what did we say, though? We say, yo, he don't look nowhere else. Mark is his guy. And eventually Minkah was going to get him. But Mark put on, though, bro. 100 through
we
the
tried
air
all
stuff
different
like
type
that.
of dudes on him,
too.
We
did. We definitely did. We was going through that.
It didn't look like
bro.
we tried a corner. It was all safeties and linebackers.
Well, because most of the time, like with a guy like Mark, it's kind of like Kelsey and Kittle. Corners are always, or more than likely, going to be just too small. Like a Cam Sutton, he could fundamentally get in his way, but the X factor for Mark is just he's going to box him out. Think how Gronk would just body position a guy and catch. That's the issue you run into with those guys. So you try to go safeties and linebackers so they have the size, but now
particularly with the Ravens running the ball,
right.
You don't want to Cam Sutton in the box.
Yeah, but that was the other issue. Was like, man, when you go bigger bodies on him, Mark is able to run away from these guys, and we saw that also happening. And like you said, it didn't matter who was putting on him. We were just, all right, you want to try, okay, all right, you get a try this time, okay, hey, you come on down, you get the Mark Andrews time, and then it was like, yo, now you want to throw Isaiah Likely in the piece, like what's happening here, bro? Yeah, but either way, it was what we needed it to be, man. So I was definitely, like I said, digging that. But trying to think. Let's tap into this offensive side. Actually, no. Let's start defense first. We always start offense. Let's talk a little defense first, man.
I feel like I have more to say about
man.
Pickett. If
defense,
things come
man.
up in my mind or pop up in my mind as we go, I'll just kind of say, hey, back to Pickett. Or I forgot I wanted to say this about KPA. But, dude, that's what you're looking for. Again,
Absolutely.
It goes back to what we saw Christmas Eve. Now we're seeing it back to back.
Absolutely.
So it feels like a little bit more common. So it's just like, this is what KPA does.
Keep showing that.
He's just a good quarterback, bro, and he comes up clutch.
Keep showing it, man.
And everything. Remember everything I was talking about when we won that Saints game.
Yeah.
Steeler football was back. Like we're starting to find our identity.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing it in full fruition right now, up against some of the better opponents in the league.
Absolutely.
AFC North rival and the Baltimore Ravens. Like the game. We talk about the Steelers-Ravens matchup.
The game.
Tomlin talking about it, Harbaugh talking about it. Like,
yes.
all these young dudes are starting to get acclimated to it. And, for this group, we got our first big win with Pickett at the helm in dramatic fashion and clutch fashion. So, dude, I'm just really liking what I'm seeing. Like, I just feel like Steeler football is back. Like, it's like, and this is like we saw all the signs coming after the bye, and this is like it at full fruition in a way.
No
I mean, we're still young. We still got ways to go, but like, I feel like we can compete with anyone right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we should be feeling really confident because we have grown to this, and that's why the confidence is warranted now. But that's also a part of it. It's like you got to earn it. You know, you can't just have the blind, or I guess, I mean, some people do have blind faith with it. Some people you have to have it actually show, and it's good to see that, you know, for either side of it, that it was rewarded. And that's the accumulation that you're referring to, that I've been referring to, and where they're at right now. And to me, man, I think it's been the full job, man, whether you're talking the guys on the field and even coaching staff-wise. Coach Tomlin, I mean, he was under fire for multiple times this season. Whether it was warranted or not, he was one of those guys where everybody was, you know, throwing the parade about this potentially being the first losing season, the potential of him picking in the top 5, the potential of, you know, should he be fired? Has he lost the locker room? All this nonsense that kept coming up that people spew each and every time a little adversity hits. But it was good to see that he still has not lost his touch. This team still very much responds to him. Matt Canada is a guy that's been heavily criticized. Gameplay. Does he know how to call the game? Does he have plays that can scheme guys open? Can he highlight Kenny's strengths and things like that? And I thought last night, once again, he did do that. And I don't know if you noticed, Deke, the jet sweep was fire last night, but the Derek Watt hit. Bro. Just know, the Derek Watt hit, bro.
Nice.
He did it early. He was like, I'm not going to wait till the 4th. I'm going to hit you with this one off the When the Derek White hit, bro, that's how you know it's going to be a great night, man.
What'd you do? Take a shot of Tito's?
I might have took a shot of something else, you know? Not like that, but yeah. I had to make sure I clarify that. I was like, probably shouldn't leave that open like that. But yes, man. Yes. But that's the thing, though, man. It was like when you can see just offensively, coaching element of, right? Stuff that we've criticized them for. Guys over the middle of the field. Can you run the ball effectively? Can you have the element of surprise? If you're going to call certain plays when it's predictable, can you still execute them? Even in moments where we know, hey, man, we got to pick up a yard. The creativity. Okay, you go jet sweep one time. You go Derek Watt one time. You go the QB sneak with the push. Then you got the QB sneak with the Najee just altering and then pushing them. So it's like either way, it was good to see, you know, them executing like that. And once again, how many weeks now can we point to this offense when we said, man, they've been able to sustain drives and move drives or sustain drives and move the ball? And once again, we were seeing that at times yesterday as well, man.
Double-digit play drives again.
You talk about starting fast. Our first series was what? 17-play drive. Like, that's the start of the game. So when we talk about execution, when you talk about understanding, when you talk about the first 15 plays being scripted, and at times we would criticize the lack of effectiveness early in games, the lack of having a drive that could potentially give you points, it was good to see that, yeah, we can continue to put those together. So all of the things that has been criticized, all the things that have been knocked at some point in time this season, we're down the stretch continually seeing those things be put to rest, so to speak, man. So it was really good in that vein. And then defensively, what's been some of the criticism? Can we rush the passer effectively? Can we defend the pass effectively? Can we stop the freaking run? You know, and at times it's like, man, we've had those questions, but I thought yesterday, pass game wise, man, we know who Mark Andrews is. That dude is a freak. But I thought with all of the things considered, thought we still did a good job of, if that was going to be their player to keep them involved. Hey, man, he made some plays, but as a whole, we didn't let him kill us in this game. When you talk about their running game, they still, I think we ended up saying they ended up over 100 yards rushing for the game.
5.5 yards a carry, too.
Yeah, they ended up with that. And we know that Huntley obviously had some scrambles and stuff, but I thought J.K. Dobbins did play a good game. I thought that was still something that they do well in terms of them running the ball. But when you talk about why we still feel so much better this time around, because last time they put 200 and was it 223? I think they ended with last time. So this is 100 yards essentially less that we held them to. And when you factor in 20 to 30 of that coming from Tyler Huntley, it even feels more better. But that was one of those things when you talk about a response, and it wasn't with the usual cast. You saw early on, they were playing who? Mark Robinson and Robert Spillane. Obviously, Miles Jack went down with the groin, but it wasn't a lot of Devin Bush early on. And then you see, okay, when Miles Jack goes down, Devin comes in. But it's like, man, everybody was getting an opportunity on that thing, man. And it's just to see how all of those guys getting opportunities, having to respond, having to make plays. When you're talking about the guys in the front, TJ Watt, getting back to doing TJ Watt type things. We've been looking for that. We've been waiting for that. And we said when he is healthy, what he is capable of, it was just good to see that showing back up. And like I said, just across the board, man, the nastiness of a Minkah Fitzpatrick, man. How that dude just continues to just set that tone. To me, this is one of those just full team jobs, man. And even on the special teams, I know my man Boz, y'all gonna put it on the Tucker effect, and if that's how we doing it, I get it. But he hit all the other ones, all right. And Presley ain't throw me nothing crazy out there either, so you know what,
Presley had a really nice
felt
one.
Pretty good. That's what I'm saying. Like
it was the special teams coverage that got me irked.
It was a missed tackle. That's the other part that always kills me. A dude missed a tackle, and people start hollering about Danny Smith. I'm like, bro, how does Danny Smith get in trouble for the dude missing the tackle when the dude was unblocked? Schematically, he was in perfect position. You just got to make the tackle. That's it. But I don't understand. That's a Danny Smith issue, man. Like, but I digress.
No, Presley did good. Yeah. And then back to, whenever you're talking about confidence, just across the board, confidence in each other, but also confidence in Kenny Pickett specifically. Yeah. You heard TJ Watt after the game say, like, yeah, we knew we were going to score. We've been seeing him do this 2-minute drill in practice, like, all season. We could tell he's got moxie. And then he delivered. Like, I feel like, man, like, these are – I know I talked about the importance of that Christmas Eve game and the Immaculate Reception, 50th anniversary, and we had to win the game. Pickett delivered. But this is another one of those type of things. On the road against the Ravens, again, big deal. It's a really big deal, and I'm loving seeing the steps along the way. And going back to what you're saying, how we had all those growing pains early on, and now it's, hey, the growth is happening. The growing pains, now it's like now actual growing. Growth. Like, hey, we could stand up with the rest of these teams in this league, like the good teams. Absolutely.
And like you said, it's one of those confidence builders too, man. To be able to do it on back-to-back occasions, back-to-back prime-time situations, like...
Yeah, prime time. They flexed us in the prime time.
Seriously, think about it. Like, Coach Tomlin talked about it prior to the game in the sense that, you got to earn that right to be in prime time. But when they're flexing you into prime time, that means you're doing something right down the stretch. And as a person that's been able to, be on that journey with Coach Tomlin before, where you have been flexed in prime time late in the year like that, it is an honor. You do feel a certain sense of pride, but you also feel a certain sense of pressure. Because, man, you're not trying to get embarrassed on prime time, baby. And you know the stakes are always higher this time of year when you're on prime time. But it's just good to see these guys responding, young players responding like that. We talk Kenny Pickett, but, man, I look at George Pickens. I look at Pat Frymouth. I look at how Najee responded. I look at how guys like Mark Robinson getting his first real extensive action, how he responds in that situation. DeMarvin Leal being back out there, how he was responding in those moments. Like, it's stuff like that that's just super impressive to me when I'm watching these guys. I'm like,
rookies.
These are young players, man, getting high quality snaps, high quality pressure situations, and they're executing. It's not always perfect. And I'll talk about 93 in a little bit. It's not always perfect, but, man, to see these dudes competing, to see these dudes in the fray, not backing down from any of them dudes over there, that's what you need. That's how you build that foundation. And you talk about having a core group. That's what you need to see. But you don't get that if you don't fully commit each and every season. You know what I mean? And that's what this team is showing, that they're not wavering regardless of what's happening around the NFL. They're going to go out there and still play to the best of their ability. And that's all you want right now, man.
I was going to do a little bit whenever I came in. I had a really good idea last night, but woke up a little too hungover, didn't get around to it. I was going to bring in a stat sheet.
Yeah.
And I was going to crumple it up and literally say, throw the stats out the window because
Thank you.
there's probably going to be haters. Look at Pickett stats, or
don't they always?
There's some losers on Twitter that's like, oh, Pickett, why did he only show up for the final drive? Where was he at the rest of the game? I don't know. I think he played pretty damn good the whole game, actually. Like, what are you pointing to that Pickett? Seriously? He was terrible at this stretch of the game.
Seriously?
No, he was good. We were just running the ball. Like, we were playing Steeler football.
And that was one thing too. I had people criticizing like the amount of runs, like we're running it too much. I'm like, bro, when you're having that type of success on the ground, you don't need to change it. And that wasn't a game that you needed to get cute. That wasn't
this was
a game.
Classic Steeler-Ravens
Absolutely.
game.
That's a game
and we played it to a T.
Where we're trying to beat you to submission. They was trying to do the exact same thing to us. But that's that type of game, man. And teams lose to both of us when they try to do what? Get cute. When they start trying to throw the ball. You're not going to beat us that way. Either one of us. It's like you got to be the more physical unit for 4 quarters. And that was the intent. That was the mindset from the start of this joint all the way to the end. I mean, you look at how we got off the first half. We sit here at they were giving up 80 yards, I think, rushing per game. We were already over the 100-yard mark at that point in the game. You already think about it. You could already
we were talking about
see
the Ravens
what we
run
were
defense.
on. Yeah,
so what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
they got a top 3 run defense.
We was over there like, bro, we trying to pound this down your throat, man, and make you like it. And that's the beauty of it. And they knew it as well. And when you know a team is trying to run the ball and you can't stop it, it's no worse feeling, Deke. It's no worse feeling. But we had to make that happen. And I don't think you get that if you're trying to be cute, trying to scheme up certain passes just for statistical purposes or just to make people feel good. That's not the design of this team. But we talked about that at multiple points in times this season. They're not trying to win with style points. They're trying to win games. And this stage of these guys' career and these stages of their growth is not going to look pretty always. But when you're talking about beautiful wins in the aftermath, like that last night was a beautiful win, man. When you see all of the check marks that we've talked about, the intangibles that we talked about, the in the moment dividends that it's paying, but even the down the line dividends is going to pay as well. Like I said, man, it's across the board. This is what you wanted to see. And when you talk about these young players growing up in rivalry games, man, that is huge. You don't forget those moments, man. You don't forget them, man.
Literally has my mind boggled from some of these losers that want to rip on Pickett for having a game-winning drive. Like, it actually boggles my mind. That is the type of stuff that we love about the great quarterbacks.
You know what we call them?
No matter how good or bad the game's going, you give them the ball with 2 or 3 minutes left. Dude's going to deliver. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for.
People,
in a franchise quarterback. It's exactly
it. People are miserable, bro. You got to let the miserable people be miserable, man. What they say? If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. So people going to hate. People going to critique. People going to always have an opinion, man. Let them go. Yeah. If you hating on Kitty's performance from last night and you're hating the fact that he had a game-winning drive to win against the Baltimore Ravens on the road, just think about what that says about you as a person, man. Just let that negativity, man. Y'all keep that over that way. Because there's nothing to really be knocking on. Like, this is a dude, a rookie, once again, when we talk about just rookies in general, not a lot of rookies have success in this league at the quarterback position early on. We've highlighted that numerous times. Shoot, we even saw that with Kenny at points in times this season. It's not always a given. But we're not going to sit here and act like we haven't seen this dude's growth and development to where he's at now, where he's leading these type of performances back to back on the road.
Unfazed.
Versus 2 playoff caliber teams. The Raiders, they were still trying to get in that postseason last week. Now it's been shifted because of what? Because they lost to us. Now they firing the coach. Hey, we're going to bench this guy. We're going to make changes now, right? That was after us. So don't minimize that either. When you talk about that Ravens team, they still got a lot they've been playing for. And we went in there and did what we needed to do on the road with the rookie quarterback, man. What are we talking about? Yeah, I don't see it as negative at all, man. That, it's just a game-winning drive. Yeah, it's a game-winning drive. Not a, man, we got a ton of great stats, but we lost. And that's my whole thing. Like, what are you looking for? Do you want Do you want to have, just stats for the sake of stats? Or do you want to win? Because there's plenty of teams that, man, we can just throw the ball just to throw it, and you'll have numbers at the end of it because it's the NFL. But in the sense of, are you executing? Are you legitimately in position to win? Are you critical in the sense of, can you operate under pressure, performance under pressure? That's a big difference. It's easy to do that when it's a 1 o'clock game in September. Can you do that when it's January 1st prime time on the road in Baltimore? Not everybody can do that. But that's what we saw. And for, like you said, to be at the most critical moment. And it wasn't like it was like we got the lead either. It wasn't like 13-9. It wasn't like 13-9 and we
literally
feeling good.
Need 7 points because we were down 4.
Yeah. And remember, we had already had our first try, had to punt it away. And it was like, all right, we've seen this roll as well. Are we going to rectify that from last time? And then offensively, when you get the ball back, can you make it right? And to see both of those sequences, the punt.
Because the defense had to step up too.
You got the punt, do what it does. You got the defense do what they're supposed to do. And then the offense comes down and executes the way they're supposed to execute across the board. And then even handling the adversity. You give up the big kickoff return. We had to miss tackle. It happens. But what do we give up on that drive, Deke? Think about that.
I don't think anything. Nothing. If my memory serves me right.
Nothing. They were punting the ball, man. They punted the ball.
Wait. Was this the one where they punted it and it would have been like a 59 or 60-yard field goal?
Yes, when Edmonds had the tackle.
I could not believe that.
Yeah,
I was smiling cheek to cheek. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Me and Wifey.
Tucker can make this. Why are you guys punting it?
Me and Wife were in the bed laughing because we see Tucker warming up. I don't know if you saw him on the sideline when they were snapping the ball. He's doing the leg joints. I'm like, babe, you see that? She's like, yeah, he finna kick this. And when they punted, I said, oh.
I couldn't believe it.
Whoa. It's crazy, too, how they do that because Harbaugh at times is very overly aggressive, going for 2, going for some of those game-winning, just end it now versus playing for overtime. But then in those situations where it's like you have an actual weapon, and we look at you kicking a 60-yarder with Tucker as a way better situation than you constantly just trying to play the win-loss game right now versus kicking a field goal and extending the game. But it's just weird how he handles those type of situations right there because I definitely thought he was going to kick it as well. And it would have made sense. He kicks it. It makes a lot of sense for him, man.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would have questioned the decision. If Tucker went out there, I'd been like, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, like, this is why Tucker's so good. Yeah, as soon as they made that kickoff return, I was like, wow, they're already in field goal range. Like, that's how good Tucker is. I was like, damn. But then they punted, and it was great to see. I was really happy they did that. Do we want to get into some Super Chats here?
Yeah, let's tap into a couple of them, yeah. And then after that, man, we get into this defense, man, because I got to talk about these defense, especially that young boy, Thrizzle.
Yeah. How about that, dude?
Uh-huh.
How about that? That was pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, bring him out there, show him that they weren't messing around with physicality, or we weren't messing around with physicality. We weren't going to let him run on us like it was last time. And that's what Mark Robbins, like, even though he might not be perfect fundamentally or anything, you saw it right off the bat. Boom, he's going to make a tackle.
That's the thing with him, man. You coach up the execution part of it. You can coach up the X's and O's stuff, but you don't have to coach his desire to make a play. That's the one thing that I love about 93. That's one of the reasons why even when I rock with 41, it's just like, yo, I don't want to.
He was really good, too.
Yeah, I don't want to ever have to question your desire to make a play. If it's athletic ability, that's one thing. But, like, I don't want to ever feel like you're turning it down. I don't want to ever feel like you're shying away from contact. And 93, bro, when he plays with his hair on fire. Like, my man is coming downhill, hitting whoever he sees in the face as hard as he can. There's times where I'm like, bro, I'm thinking he's going to put himself to sleep. But I'm like, yo, I just love that mentality because that is Steelers football. But more importantly, take the Steelers label off of it as a linebacker. That's how you play linebacker, bro. Like, you have to be aggressive. You have to want to hit people. Like, that's the thing we always laugh. Oh, man, you're such a nice person. It's like, man, I like to hit people. Like, in my mind, I want to hit everybody. You just learn self-control. But that's the beauty of playing linebacker. You really get to just go hit people. Put my face on your face until your
Legal
eyes
violence.
blink. Like, I want your eyes to not open back up for a little bit. But then after that, go home, kiss your wife and kids and your mom, all that. I ain't trying to kill you. But that's the mindset. And it's just good to see that 93 plays with that, bro. Like, from the start of this thing, man, it wasn't perfect. But first off, bro, shout out to the old 61 Bear front. They was like, yo, we're going to just give you 1-on-1 mark. You're ISOing on this backer or on JK. Just mirror this dude. We're going to keep all these gaps clean. I love that right there, man. But I do think that 93 has a natural nose for the ball. When you watch him play, he reads the pullers really naturally. And I think that's because of his running back background. But it's not just that he's reading it, it's how he arrives. He arrives with bad intentions. He arrives with violence. And I think it's only a matter of time before he mentally catches up to all of the other stuff, because that's the only thing that's going to be realistically keeping him off the field. When you talk about why they would play him over 55 last night, athletically, Mark isn't far off. Mark is in that conversation. That's been the big difference with Spillane. He doesn't have the same tools athletically as a Devin Bush, but Mark has some of those gifts. And I think what Mark might be lacking in terms of overall like top end speed that Devin has, I think that Mark makes it up in effort because of how hard he plays. And for me, man, I just think, man, with a full offseason where this dude can actually get a chance to really learn and grow and build upon this, I think that he could be a good player for us, man, because you're seeing it. You're seeing it in stadium, and it's not preseason. This is regular season now.
This is against the Ravens.
You see what I mean? Like preseason, preseason still counts. I'm not going to discredit preseason, but we understand like how we look at it in terms of the context. But this is the Baltimore Ravens in January with playoffs on the line for both teams. And he wasn't out there in the fourth quarter. He was out there to start that thing out. It wasn't no, hey, man, we got injuries. Miles Jack ended up going down. But before Miles Jack went down, 93 was in the conversation. The rotation was 41, 51, 93. 55 was kind of, like I said, the one that wasn't getting those opportunities.
Like he only had 5 snaps.
Yeah, up until when Miles got hurt. That's when 55 started to come on. But that speaks volumes to their level of confidence in 93. And it speaks volumes to his preparation. Because they're not, Coach Tom, I know Coach Tom. He's not putting no dude out there in January if they haven't been doing stuff like that throughout the season in practice. They haven't been making plays in practice. They haven't been being physical, checking off all those boxes because he knows the stakes are too high at this point in the season. So for him to even do that to where he has a defined package for him, because that's what it was. It was a package for Mark. It's like, man, to see that, it's like, all right, that's step one. That's how you build a plan. Remember, me and TJ, we always joke about it, right? Hey, man, first to hit you with it's a package. Hey, we not benching you. We got a specific position group for him.
Yeah. And
they started playing that package. We saw 93 a lot. We saw 93 even more so yesterday than we did the first couple of times that we've seen him out there.
Panthers game.
And it keeps expanding. That's how it all starts. That's how they hit you. Just watch foreshadowing. But with 93, though, man, like I just think that, like I said, for him, full off season, man, where he can really get this X's and O's coverage part, because playing next to Spillane helps him. But if he can get mentally where Spillane is already at, like, man, I think that he could be a really good linebacker for us, bro. Because you see what he plays with, man. You saw it last night, man. We ain't making nothing up. And that's my thing. We saw it in the preseason, and it was like, okay, this is dope, but it's preseason. Can you do a regular season? We're seeing it in the stadium now. We're seeing it in critical moments, man. So you know how I feel. When I see it in stadium, that's when I believe it. I don't want to hear about the fairy tales or the, hey, man, I believe just because. It's like, nah, that's not how I operate. Everybody's different. But I'm a guy that needs to just see it. And when I can see it, now I can believe in it, man. And like I said, with 93, man, he's definitely showing me some stuff.
That would be huge. If he could be... Now, I know you're really optimistic about him going into next season, but are you talking to the point where we might not have to draft an inside linebacker, or hell, I mean, he could be a full-time starter in a way with Miles Jack, or maybe him and Spillane.
Well, the thing is this, I think that regardless of if we draft or not, he's still going to be pushing for playing time. How many times has Spillane been the person that's not supposed to be out there? The forgotten soul, so to speak. And he's playing each and every year, a ton of snaps each and every season, right? We've been talking about getting rid of Spillane how many years?
This is his third year.
He still shows
2020 is when he first came on the scene.
Like, I think Mark, I look at him in a similar way just because of his demeanor. I say to myself, if Mark mentally can get the coverage and stuff down, I don't see what's going to keep him off the field consistently. because I think he is talented enough to play this game regardless of where a guy is drafted at. Now, it might not always be you're the opening day week 1 starter, but I think it's one of those ones where if that opening day week 1 starter isn't doing what he's supposed to do, like we've seen in the past, that he's that type of guy, just like how Spillane is, where it's like you're not going to just sit him and watch this guy that's supposed to be the man be inconsistent at times. And that's what I do think he's capable of. So I don't care if we drafting a guy or if we're signing a guy. I think that Mark is still going to be able to compete and put himself in that conversation, regardless of what we do now. I still personally would want to bring somebody in just because he's a rookie right now and it's still a small sample size. I believe that he can develop into it, and I think with the right coaching, if Flores is still here and stuff like that,
he ain't gonna be here.
I don't think he is either.
He's already getting some head coaching rumors and stuff connected to the Broncos and the Colts.
I was like, I would love for if Flores is still here with him this offseason to watch him develop even more.
Yeah.
But I anticipate changes potentially. And with changes, you just never know how it's going to affect a guy's development because coaching style, what they're asking, techniques and stuff like that, you just never know. So that is the reason why I would at least want to bring somebody in.
Bring back Peasy, maybe. Can he do inside linebackers?
Well, it's not even about the coaching element. I'm just thinking from a personnel standpoint. Another reason why I would still want to probably bring somebody in is I question with Miles just down the stretch now because we're seeing him just, kind of in and out of this thing. Is that something that as he continues to get older, am I going to have to worry about this more so going on? So that's why I'm like, another reason why I potentially want to bring another guy in there, whether it's free agency or the draft.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Crystal Pravat saying 2023 Najee ascending, and Deke, we got the YouTube receipts.
Oh, yikes! Yeah, we do got some segments out there. I think I have a pretty
decent memory.
It's some segments out there where it's like TG and Deke don't like Najee. TG and Deke bash Najee. TG and Deke say trade Najee. TG and Deke say trade Najee for a second, a third, a sixth round if you can. TG and Deke said 2020, they said first round running backs are over. Yeah. TG and there's a ton of those out there for receipts. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nah, here's what I recall.
I'm listening, man.
Najee did not look right. Up until probably the Falcons game. He started to look better after the bye. Saints game, he had a good game. Bengals game, he had a good game. But then that Colts game, that's where he got banged up. And then we saw Benny Snell come in. I think a mixture of him with McFarland, Jalen Warren.
And then you was
Jalen Warren hurt? I can't remember if he was hurt that game or not.
Yeah,
but
I forgot what
McFarland, that's when McFarland got some time with Snell.
Yeah.
And that was the best.
It was the hammy. He had the hammy that game.
I think that was the best our set of running backs looked in any given game up to that point. Yeah. So I felt like, all right, Najee, he just got banged up again in this Colts game. He's been looking banged up all the way up to this point anyway.
Yeah.
It wouldn't kill us to give him a rest and see what Benny Snell can do.
Now you want to say give him a rest. You was over here like...
that's how I felt.
You was over here like, yo, I want Jalen Warren to be the starting running back. I want Benny Snell to be the starting running back. I want Anthony McFarland to be a starting running back. I think at one point in time, you even hollered for Master Teague to come back and be the starting running back, man. You know, that's your guy right there.
Pick him up.
You know what I'm saying? That's your running back right there, man. I feel like you was calling for all these guys to be the guy over 22, man. And I was over here just last of a dying breed with my little 22 flag. I believe we can, Najee. I believe. It was good.
So to see, combine those sentiments with the whole trade thought of like, oh, if we were able to get a first or second rounder for Najee, would you do it?
It worked for Claypool. Why can't it work for this time?
And I said, yeah, but I didn't think we were ever going to get a first or second round for Najee. But now, I mean, I told you, if Najee heats up these last couple games, I feel like he's probably got a first or second round trade value right now.
If you and TG would throw that high value on him back then, what would you put his value at right now?
What? No, I didn't think. I thought he was like a fourth round pick.
But remember when like even TG was also like, yo, if you can get him for like a second and a third or a first and a third or something.
We never agreed with him though.
I'm with you on that, but I'm just wondering like, what do you think Najee's value is right
Second rounder.
Second rounder now?
Yeah, but then I did say, if he keeps playing like this, like I don't think the second rounder's worth it because I do think he's a big time leader to this team.
I'm with you.
If he's running like this with the 1-2 punch of Jalen Warren, like we're good on that. Maybe maybe the value could be had more if you get the second rounder. You're able to get a
I'm with
cornerback and whatnot because you could replace running backs a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But I feel like what Najee means to this team right now,
It's a lot, bro.
yeah, you can't really put a price on it.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
So I'm pretty much good off the trade Najee type of thing.
Good. Let's not trade Najee because I want him here. Let's go.
Crystal Pravat. Who y'all got one-on-one? Minkah or Cam? 39 wanted the smoke. You ain't see
Oh,
this?
no. I was throwing up for a second, but yeah, you're right. I remember it now. Cam.
Oh, yeah. Cam would smoke him, dude.
Cam. I ain't playing Cam.
Wait, can we talk about that? Was terrible. The worst call, one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Actually, probably the worst I saw was in that Patriots game. Did you watch that game?
It's slow-mo.
They called forward progress on a dude fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
It was absolutely egregious. But then
I'm
that
with you.
one, the NFL's getting soft. Come on, man. Well, Cam didn't even do it either. Like, the dude pulled him down.
Think about it. We saw it in
That
what?
was terrible.
We saw it in what? Did you know that?
Gave him a free touchdown.
But did you know that's how it happened when it first happened? Or did you know that after the slow motion replay? That's all, man. In slow motion, we get a lot more context with a lot more details. In that moment, they
Either way,
thinking it's
it's a soft
Steelers
call.
Ravens, man, and you know how it go. It's Steelers Ravens. They don't want it to get out of control. That's how they feel at times. So that's why they're gonna try to police it. And we don't have the best track record in terms of not going overboard at times when we a little upset with teams. So they gonna be a little touchy with that type of stuff.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Because we had that was the big stop.
It was. It was huge.
Third and long. Okay.
That extended their drive, and that's how they scored.
They're just gonna kick a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And
That extended
a
them, man.
touchdown. It's really unfortunate. Because it was like no time remaining. It
Nah.
was like 10 seconds left.
But I think it's just one of those things where it's like, man, human error happens, and I don't think you overreact to it or don't react to it. It's just like it's a part of it. But that's what we also say: one call never makes or breaks a game. That call happened. Did it hurt at that moment? Sure. But were we able to overcome it? Yes. Because at the end of the day, football is football, man. Calls are going to happen. But at the end of the day, the better team wins the majority of the time. That's why you love this game. Because it's not a lot of fluky that is just going to, really take over in instances. It's like you'll have a handful of plays, but, man, you have multiple opportunities. And I just thought that in that moment, it wasn't a terrible decision. Like, I get why the dude would have thrown the flag in that moment. I do. But at the same time, it's like I get why we'd be upset about it also because it was on us. And if I'm Baltimore, I get why they would have been like, yep, that works for us. We're cool with that. I get it. But at the end, man, ball don't lie. Isn't that what they say? Ball don't lie, baby. Ball don't lie.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up, how we overcame the adversity, because there was other adversity outside
Absolutely
that
it
call.
was.
Balls missing a field goal.
Yeah.
We clutched up. Like, Kenny clutched up, and I got to give myself a pat on the back. Look, I
There
was
it
on
is.
my no Shadikas vibes yesterday.
There it is.
One, I hit the 3-leg parlay with all the
Oh.
games the Steelers needed to win.
Let's
game.
go. Yeah, because the
Patriots,
playoff hopes are still
and also
very,
the Seahawks.
very alive. Very much alive. Let's go.
Yeah, it's in good
Let's
shape.
go.
But I also called. I said, like, hey,
Yeah.
we got screwed in the first half here with these shitty calls. And also, Ball's missing a field goal. You got to start making those.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, things turned out in the second half.
I'm with you, bro.
Kind
I'm
of
with
clutched
you,
up
man.
despite all the adversity.
I'm with you, man.
Troy Mason Jr. Deke had me dying last night when he was on that Ravens pack after the game.
The Ravens pack was fire.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably one of my better rants right there. Drop the Will Levis who? CJ Stroud who? Bryce Young who? We got Kenny Pickett.
Oh, yeah, because people are really excited about what they were seeing from some of those collegiate guys, man. Yeah. Really excited.
Now or then?
Based off what they saw in the semifinals. That's what I'm talking about. The semifinal and the bowl game. People excited about with Bryce and the CJs, man.
I didn't even. What did Alabama do? I didn't pay attention.
They blew, was it Tennessee? Or no. I forget who they played, but they won big. It was like 40-something to 20. Yeah, they got after it. Bryce Young, 4-5 touchdowns, and then CJ Stroud went crazy.
Forget those guys. We got Kenny Pickett. I just remember going back, 8 weeks ago, people talking about tanking, and I think Ryan Clark even said, they can consider Bryce Young. Get out of here. We got Kenny Pickett. Troy Mason. No.
In fact, the funny thing? In fact, one of the biggest Kenny Pickett supporters, I think low-key bigger than you. He even put it out there.
Who? Filiponi.
Even he,
because I know
even he put out there.
Come on,
after the game this week, and he was like, "It's only one quarterback that I've even thought could do that," and he was like, "Maybe Bryce is the only guy that might be better than Kenny." I was like, "Whoa!" For him to even go that far, yeah.
Oh, is that when Alabama was playing?
Yeah,
he got caught up. In
that's what he said, bro. That's what he said, bro. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Now, Deke, I know is top 3, and he ain't number 3." But I was like, man, I thought Pawnee was number 1 on the Kenny Pickett train.
Pawnee's folding.
And he definitely
That's bad.
he definitely put out there, hey, man,
That's bad.
Man, hey, Bryce might be the only one. I was like, whoa, what is this?
Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so just, just check it. Yeah. Make sure you won't fold it. You keep the course, bro.
No, bro, I've been saying this.
I don't have loyalties at quarterback. Since 7's gone, it's however we want to take it, man. You know what I'm saying? Is it this?
Next.
Is it that guy? Is it this guy?
Saying.
You know what I mean? Hey.
8's next. 8 comes after 7. It's only natural.
Let's go.
The other signs were there too. I tried telling everyone in the offseason, Pickett, he drank that Bud Light after the Clemson game. Whenever he said, I'm going to go home and grab a cold one. What was Ben's call signal? Dilly dilly. Troy Mason Jr. continues and says, best safety. I guess he's talking about Minkah. O-line, bald. And Najee played like a man possessed. Kenny clutch. # bright future. Mm-hmm. I wanted to say this about the O-line. I do think they played really well as a unit. What the hell was Chooks doing?
Which one?
He was getting cooked. I mean, there was 3 or 4 plays. I'm rewatching it today. My man's getting cooked.
This is the thing, man. Chooks and Dan.
He was there letting this free roam.
You got to understand this, man. Like, when we talk about one-on-one pass rush for certain dudes, like, it ain't going to always be the best, man. Sometimes you get in your own head. Sometimes they get in your head. Sometimes it get chaotic. But the thing that I will say, because both dudes, I mean, Chooks got beat sometimes, and Dan Moore was getting beat sometimes. But I think that both of those dudes were physical when they needed to be. I thought Chooks, man, was still nasty as heck, bro. I seen one play. My man's headbutting the cat, bro. Like, literally just like, get over here. Bing. I'm like, yo, I like this nastiness. I like that type of aggression. But we know they still are developing the skill portion for them also, man. And just to think where they've grown as a unit also, man, it's like they're not going to be perfect just yet. But their mistakes are highlighted a little bit more than an incomplete pass. You know what I mean? Like, an incomplete pass goes to the ground, you go to the next play, no one thinks about it. A bad play for the offensive lineman is Kenny's getting hit, we're going to lose our mind. So it's just different level in terms of the standard for them. But to me, man, I still thought that they, for the most part, did what they needed to do. It wasn't perfect in terms of keeping Kenny clean, but they kept him clean enough. But the thing that was more impressive to me was how they handled the run game. The physicality that they played with in the trenches, man, in terms of just winning the line of scrimmage or in certain instances just not losing the line of scrimmage. That sometimes is half the battle right there, man. If you could just let Najee not have to get hit on his side of the line versus, him being able to get through the hole as we saw. That was the difference some of those times, and that was what the offensive line was doing really good last night. So I just kind of look at it like that. Like, yeah, they're going to have their mess-ups. It's just really highlighted when it's one of those guys, though.
Dude, you're 100% right. Felt like we were pushing them back.
Yeah.
That's always
like,
something you
bro.
want.
Absolutely.
With the line of scrimmage type of stuff. You want your offensive line pushing their defensive line back and our defensive line pushing their offensive line back. And I felt like we did that. Like, we brought the physicality, I think, on both sides of the ball that we felt like was lacking in the first matchup. And putting Mark Robinson out there right off the bat really set the tone, I feel like.
And, like, I think about how last year we would criticize the offensive line and we would say, man, when Najee's running the ball, he's running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
Literally a brick wall. Or he's getting hit on his side of the line of scrimmage. And last night, we didn't feel like that at all. Like, it was multiple times where you're watching him run through the hole.
Running lanes.
He's like a yard or 2 yards on their side of the field before he's getting touched. He averaged 5 yards a carry last night. 22 for 111. Like, that's big time for him, man. Like, we don't see that a lot, or we hadn't seen that a lot this season from him for multiple reasons. Health, him just not playing to his the best of his ability, scheme, and then obviously the offensive line. But man, I just thought that, when you talk about this group, the way that they blocked for him last night, it was really impressive, man. And it's something that they can keep building upon because they have been also. That's another big part of why we've been successful. Even when it was, like you said, Kenny at quarterback, and even when in with Mitch at quarterback, it's like that offensive line has been able to be physical. And when they've been the more physical unit, we've won those games as well. It's no secret in terms of our formula right now. We got to win in the trenches. We got to be more physical, but that's been showing up since this bye. And that's another part when you talk about this group, this offensive line specifically, same starters the whole season. It's a reason why they're playing better. It's a reason why they've grown to where they've grown. You think about that Jacksonville game in the preseason and how we felt with our offensive line that game. We was over here like, bro, we need to blow the whole thing up. Y'all can get Kenny killed. This is terrible. And to where we are now, it's just like, bro, how is this even the same season? It just seems so.
Peters or
bro,
Dwayne Brown.
Think about it. That was the conversation we was having. Like, yo, let's take Jason Peters, who's a little bit overweight, a little bit older for the position, then retired multiple times. I definitely did. I was like, bro, and we was gonna pay that to start here. Like, no disrespect, because he's a dope dude, dope player, but it's like, bro, the game passed you by, man. Like, that's a part of it. But it was a point where we were that desperate, where we were like, yo, should we go sign him to start for us? So to see where we have grown to, I was just like, bro, shout out to the offensive line, man. Shout out to him, man.
Mike Hood. I love how passionate the team played. Last night, we were the bullies. Talk to them, Najee. Like Bus used to. Love it.
Nah, man, seeing Najee talking, seeing that man getting up, dreads shaking, like, bro, da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I don't know what you're saying, Najee. I feel like it's a ton of hellas in there, though, because that's how, that's how they talk in the Bay. And, man, I hella right you over, da-da-da-da, man. You just da-da-da-da, But I was digging it, bro.
That's what we've been looking for all season.
Loved it, man. Give me that Najee. Give me that Najee consistently, man.
Elliot, Moats, thank you for the film sessions. I like how you break it down, Barney style.
There it is. Heck
Minkah
yeah.
for Depoy. The man seals too many games.
Bro, you see how my man Minkah last night,
He's got to be in the top 3 now. I don't know if he's going to win, but he got Bosa and Parsons.
Yeah, them two dudes,
I think he should be a clear third right now. 6 picks, and some of the picks that he's had have been crazily impactful at the right moment and the right time of the game.
You're absolutely right, man. And think about it, man. We've been calling this, man. We've been talking about how Huntley, he stares down receivers. He's not the most efficient with his arm accuracy, and he's not the most consistent when throwing the ball. And we saw multiple times last night where he still has some throws kind of get away, and it's like, man, we're getting close. We're getting close, but it was good to actually finally go ahead and capitalize on one of those things, because that's what Baltimore hadn't been doing. With Huntley, they typically don't turn that ball over. They typically get bailed out a lot, but we were able to go ahead and finish that. So they said definitely like that right there, man. And shout out to the Barney style. I try to make it as simple and as simplistic as possible without, giving everybody like high level, like PhD football jargon. Yeah.
No, your film sessions
gotta make where all of us can enjoy the session, man. So shout out to that. And I see a ton of y'all in here today too, man. Make sure I hit that like button one time for the coach. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed. And all that good stuff. So yeah.
Mike 28. I'm coming in a little late, so maybe I missed it, but what are y'all's opinion on the Hayward penalty? I thought it was straight BS.
Yeah, we ain't like the call, but I think for me, I guess I could just understand why the referees were throwing it in that set and just trying to keep a lid on it and control the game. Because the NFL's big fear is that, people going to act up in prime time, get to fight, and then we're going to have all this, it's a black eye for the league. Oh, what are you doing to the brand? Oh, what is the shield? So that's kind of how I looked at it. I get it. And, the referees, they don't have the luxury in that particular moment of a replay, of a slowed down angle to see everything that happened. They just see big bodies falling around, Cam on top. They don't know he's getting pulled and stuff like that. So, like I said, it was unfortunate, but ball don't lie, man. One call doesn't kill you, and it was good to see us overcome that as well, man, because that was easily a moment where we could have folded because, like you said, they scored on it. So there could have easily been a moment where we start pointing the fingers and we just lose it absolutely and shut it down for the rest of the night. But, we don't. We fuss and fight a little bit, and after that, we move on. Yeah.
Troy Mason Jr. looks like Najee will reach 1,000 after all.
How many he need right now? How are we sitting on the count?
I just checked 954, so that would be 46 yards next week against the Browns.
Oh yeah, we good. We money.
Yeah, at home.
I don't want to jinx it. I'm not gonna jinx it.
I think he'll get it. Yeah, this was the big game that he needed to virtually lock it up, and just the fact that he was going up against the Ravens' run defense, that's what made it a little bit sketchy, but. Initially, remember, what did I say? I thought he needed 290. Then my math was so bad, it ended up being 210. And 210 would mean he only needed to average 70 yards for the last, 3 games. So,
You
with
getting
this
that
Ravens
100,
game, he's
that was
back on
huge.
pace. He's
Yeah.
actually better than pace if he only needs 46 for this last one. Next one. Let's go UW. If you we could trust him. He's going to talk about draft here. We could kind of trust him with some of his scouting, right?
Oh, I mean,
he did a good job last year.
now.
Chad Muma.
Chad Muma, Logan Wilson. Yeah, he 2 for 2 right now.
Okay, ready? He says, if you're looking at a draftable inside linebacker, may I suggest D. Winters from TCU?
Ooh.
He balled out Saturday against Michigan.
Okay.
Did you watch any of those games?
I did, man. It was a blast. But I wasn't like following it to like study the players to that extent. But nah, man, it was a good game, man.
I just got the fourth quarter of that TCU Michigan.
Bro, TCU just started out fast. And Michigan, man, they had, was it 2 pick sixes or whatever? Like they was tricking it off. But then Michigan, man, they started to battle back. Then it was just back and forth action, man. But it was good. Yeah, I caught the Bama game. I caught a little bit of the Bama game. Just see, like I said, Bryce was going off. And then Saban leaving them in, too. That was the other part. Like, Saban was definitely sending a message to all everybody out there. Y'all ain't want to put me in the bowl. I mean, y'all ain't want to put me in the college football playoffs. Y'all talk about Bama's done. Okay. He was definitely sending a message. And then for Bryce, I think it was one of those, yeah, if y'all debating who's nice between him and C.J. Stroud, watch him do this. Because they were still airing that joint out late in the game. You like, God dang, Nick. Like, bro, what you doing here, man? Yeah, it was one of them.
Stroud played pretty good, too.
Well, yeah, but Stroud was the second act.
Yeah.
This was all before we even saw Stroud. Then Stroud went crazy. That game, the ending was nuts with the whole, like, New Year's Eve, the ball dropping. Like, literally, I forgot all about the ball dropping because we were so locked in on this game because it was just like, yo, they literally going back and forth, and you don't know, like, yo, can CJ get it done? But CJ was putting on, man, with his legs, throwing the rock, like, just doing stuff that you don't typically see consistently. It was like, yo, this is crazy right here.
Yeah, the mobility on the display was definitely something else.
Yeah. But then to see them get down and then, you know, for the 50 for the cash, I knew he was going to miss it, bro.
You know,
when they call it time out, I text my mans. I'm like, bruh, look at the kicker's face. He's going to miss this. He just had that look in his eyes like.
Felt bad for the poor soul.
Yeah, when they called him, I was like, oh, he's deer in the headlights. It's over. Yep, it was over. And as soon as he went out there to kick that thing, Lord. It was crazy how that thing synced up perfectly, though. But, yeah, his face said it all. That time out, they put that camera on him. Dang. You look like you're thinking about it. You don't want to see a kicker look like he's thinking about it. That's why you ice him, man. You don't ice Tuck because you ain't worry about Tuck, man. Tuck going to be like, cold-blooded killer. That man had that look on his face like he was thinking about it. Oh, they called the timeout. Dang. Is it really from 50 or is it 49? Is it 51? Is it windy in here? I know it's a dome, but maybe it's a breeze. Like, bro, you thinking way too hard, bro. And, yeah, that's how it happened, man.
Little selfish plug here. Did you see the Pitt game?
Oh!
Please tell me you saw the Pitt game. It was unbelievable.
No. I did when, oh, my gosh. I went to ask you, oh, my gosh. It was at the ending.
It was incredible.
Yo, I did. Oh, my gosh. Man, I should have wrote it down.
What?
I was going to ask you about a player. It was a player that I saw on their defense. I wanted to ask you about, but I forgot his name.
Pitt.
Oh, yes, it was for Pitt, yeah. But it's all good.
Our defense was getting cooked up.
Yes.
Luckily, UCLA's quarterback threw a couple picks, and
bro,
luckily they went off.
But like the
UCLA
back and
players'
forth with
hands.
it though, man, because we were watching it on because it's right before we went to the Pens game on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're at where did we?
Pitt hoops too. Hey,
I ain't see the basketball game. Yeah, shout out.
Might be back, bro.
Let's go. Well, no, we was watching the we had the game on in the back where he was eating dinner before going to the hockey game and stuff. But no, man. I like how they finished though, man. Because you think what they built upon though,
20 wins.
That's what I'm
last
saying.
2 years. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think there's only like a handful of teams that have done that. Like we're in a category with like Alabama's and Clemson's
JMU's and stuff.
You
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What did you have last year?
I think.
I guess
yeah,
right.
was,
You were in your old conference.
Yeah. And then we just kept winning this year. But no, we're gonna catch it. We look up to you guys. You know that. Y'all are what we aspire to get to. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you do it next year, how many did you have this year? 8 or 9?
8. Yeah.
All right, so you need 12 next year.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be. They need to be
Get it back to
D1
back.
wins,
I'm with
right?
you. Oh, you know I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Hey, you know, we little guys in this area. We just trying to just find a way. We have nothing. We just finding a way. But I did though, and on assist though, like how Pitt back-to-back years though being able to finish up like that, man, because I think it's one of those culture things. I don't know Narduzzi like that. I don't know if y'all fans of him or not, but
I like him.
But in the sense of just a winning culture, man, when you talk about double-digit wins, when you talk about just consistently 20 wins in 2 seasons, that's a lot of winning. And it just, number one, when you talk about recruiting, it's huge for that. When you talk about the significance of that mentality where you feel like we can't lose close games, that also comes
Pitt
up,
finds
man.
ways to lose those games. I mean,
seriously, yeah.
Even the Hoops game, we tried to lose that one. I'm telling you, we were up.
Yeah.
We were up. Game was locked,
Yeah.
and we're finding ways to turn the ball over and get UNC.
But
back
that's
in
why
it.
for me, like when I say like the finish to the UCLA game was dope to me because, like you said,
Patty
usually
did,
y'all find a way to not finish those games. You know what I'm saying? But it was dope to see that y'all could, and even with the adversity, it's like, no, all right, we're gonna get a turnover right back. Like we right back in this thing. Like I definitely, like I said, you can see. If that is all Narduzzi, you can see the footprint. You can see where they're, he's kind of like established that little niche right now with this squad, man. So you said they got another, transfer coming in next year. Supposed to have him right back in the conversation. So you see if he can keep sustaining this thing, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have had Patty in the whole season over Slovis. It's clear as day.
But it's hard.
Clear as day.
It's not always that easy. When you talk about development, when you talk about just guys growing and trusting and stuff like that, like,
Patty got that dog in.
Is Patty this version in September though? And that's my whole thing. Even like when I think of the whole Kenny Pickett stuff, it's oh man, we should have been had Kenny. I'm like, Kenny wasn't playing like how he played last night in September, man. Like not that consistent. And that's what I think of like with him versus Slovis. I'm like, man, Slovis in September was all right. He got enough done, and then it went bad. Yeah.
Well, it could be the Mason Rudolph theory. He got a concussion in that Tennessee game, then it went down the tubes.
You know what? I'm still not off. That low-key might be right.
Might be. Yeah.
I'm not against that theory, bro. You might be right.
In that West Virginia game and in that Tennessee game,
think
the
about
first
it.
half of that Tennessee
game,
he
was fine.
He was
He
good.
was fine.
And then
he got hurt, and it never came back the same.
He was skittish.
Yeah. Which does happen to quarterbacks though when they go through that. Yeah, when it shake a little bit, it change.
R. Barley, 18, just getting here. Game-winning touchdown. Kenny dropped back, faded him into pressure, panic, and tossed it up to. Come on! Is this my buddy's burner?
I told you, bro. I told you.
This is my buddy's burner.
That is literally how my man
tossed it up to Sim short. Najee snatched it away from a certain interception.
Okay.
Film don't lie.
Okay.
The film I'm watching, he threw it to Najee.
Okay.
For a touchdown.
I wasn't playing, bro. I got a text that literally was breaking it down like, yo, y'all doing a lot. Y'all gotta chill. All right.
Yeah, TG even had to throw shade on the Christmas Eve game.
I'm like, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill, bro. Y'all gotta chill. Yeah.
Staying clear. If I'm a fake fan for criticizing Kenny, Deke a fake fan for wanting to trade Najee for draft picks.
I don't think you're a fake fan for criticizing Kenny. I like when you criticize people. All I say is just hold yourselves accountable, though, man. If you're going to critique this element of it, you still got to acknowledge other elements of it. That's all. That's how I look at it. I know Deke takes a little bit harder of a stance, though, as it pertains to criticism of KP8 or BR7. Or do you guys just call him Big Man 7? How you want to go?
Listen.
Because KP8 is definitely like how it flows, but I didn't know if like we're going to just adopt that on Ben as well and just be like, you're BR7.
BR7's fine. Big Ben, okay. BR7, 7.
Because we weren't doing the BR7 because it was like the whole TB12. And it was like, yo, is it, you know what I mean? But I ain't know.
It don't matter.
All right.
In terms of criticism, though, no, I'm not opposed to saying, all right, he was off or wasn't the best of throws or this and that. I think sometimes it becomes too polarizing and people take things way too far one way or another.
That gets me.
It's one thing to say like he had an off series here, so like maybe he should have made that throw. They take that series or maybe just a game, a quarter, a half, and say
lose their mind.
Hey, it's time to draft Bryce Young. It's time to move off Pickett.
They will say these.
That's why I come in hot with some of my takes.
Like, bro, these three throws are why we should have never drafted him and why he doesn't. We need to bring this. I'm like, yo, it was 3 throws, man. Chill. That is funny. I'm with you 1,000%, bro. The criticism is fine. It's when they overdo it, and that definitely happens. But that's just sports in general. That's fans in general, man. So you know how it goes.
Like there has been a time or two in the past. I don't know if you recall that. I was critical of Ben. The Bills game. Yeah. I think that pick before the half. Remember this was 2020.
Taron Johnson.
Going back to that 2020 season. Yeah, I think that pick before the half, that really hurt us that game.
Yeah.
That really hurt us. Threw us out of the game because it was low scoring.
That changed everything. Yeah.
The pick six, that was bad.
Yeah.
But outside of that, Ben had an awesome 2020 season, I thought. The 33 touchdowns, the 10 picks. He wasn't the reason for our downfall. All of a sudden, our line started playing like dog shit, and defense was giving up running. But people wanted to blame Ben. That's where it's unfair. That's where I got to call these fakes out.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. And there we have it. Huh.
Chupa Thingy, 6173. Can we talk about Sims and how much this guy has stepped up since Claypool was traded? Definitely an unsung hero over the past 2 games.
No, man.
And he's catching every punt.
Yeah, catching every punt, so that secures a possession for us, which is the most important part, as we've talked about when it comes to punt return. But the second thing is this, man. This was a guy that was supposed to be a special teams player exclusively, and at times, people even question, was he even going to make the roster? Because we had a Gunnar Olszewski and we had drafted a Calvin Austin. But this dude is not only put to rest any of the return concerns, but this dude is also carving out a road where he's consistently contributing to us offensively, pass game or jet sweep game. This one of those dudes, man, who just is a football player. He just is one of those dudes that helps out, man, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. I really enjoy watching him. I always enjoy watching Jaylen Warren as well, because even though those are smaller guys in stature, they play with such aggression and they're very explosive. And when you watch Steven, man, when he has that ball in his hands or when he's going up to make a play as a receiver, man, this dude, he just wants to compete and he plays with such passion. So for me, man, I really enjoy when we get a chance to watch him, you know, with that ball in his hands and just how he's continued to be an overachiever, so to speak, in this situation, because it wasn't a ton of people, myself included, that were really, you know, thinking that he would have a role like this season when training camp opened up. So, man, big time kudos to him. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Going back to preseason, he was making some plays and stuff.
Yeah,
and you're
definitely
thinking,
was. Yeah.
all right, could he be our 6th receiver, backup, special teams return man after Gunner? And yeah, after the Claypool trade. And you could see some good stuff he was doing in preseason, though. Like, he had a connection with Kenny. He was making some good things happen. Yep. It was just, all right, we're kind of deep at receiver. I don't know if he's ever really going to do anything.
Because we looked at
now
him.
He's legitimately our 3rd receiver.
Think about it. We were looking at Steven Sims and Tyler Vaughns. It was both of those guys, man, they're very talented, but, man, we're just too deep right now at that position. But the difference to me is what? Steven, his, in the natural end was what he could do in terms of being a return man. Whereas Tyler, he would have had to beat out of Miles Boykin per se in terms of some of the coverage stuff. And we know what Miles can do in terms of just his punt coverage and just special teams play that he brings to the table. So, yeah, man. But shout out to Steven Sims, though, man. Absolutely.
And since he brought up Claypool, let's do a quick stat check for him.
Oh, yeah, bro. It's getting gory. It's, yeah. It is not like, I don't want to be that guy because I know that can be like a lot. But, man, yeah. Shout out to the Steelers for that trade.
Week
Shout out to
17,
Omar Khan, bro.
Chicago at Detroit.
Yo.
1 target.
Yeah, bro.
0 catches. 0 yards.
Like I said,
no rushing yards either for a jet sweep.
I don't want. Oh, you petty as heck. That boy said no jet sweep yards. You are.
I got nothing against Claypool.
Bro.
I really don't.
But yeah, that's my thing. Like, I don't want to, because I do feel like there are like people that, you know, try to pile up on him because of, you know, just his temperament and how his personality is. I don't want to do that, you know, but I definitely feel like this is a really good situation for the Steelers in terms of the results of this trade. I mean, it realistically could turn into a first rounder, essentially. Like, that's what it's going to be based on, you know.
If the Texans win and Chicago loses,
like that's
what happens?
It's literally, that simple for us. So when you think about that context and you couple that with Claypool's productivity post-trade as well, you can see why, you know, Steel Nation feels so good about it. And then when you look at the emergence of a George Pickens, the consistency that we're seeing even with the Deontay in certain elements, and even guys like Steven Sims, who we just talked about, you know, those type of players.
And us finding our identity, just
like,
running the ball a lot better too.
Yeah, just being a better, more efficient team. Maybe not as explosive, but just more efficient and better in terms of productivity. I think that is another reason why here in Steeler Nation, like, we do feel extremely good about this trade because of all those names, man. So, you know, we appreciate you, Claypool. We do.
Did you see his comments?
So I saw some of the bickering, but I don't know what's going on because it was like him and Justin Fields.
No, I wasn't even talking about that. I did see some of those headlines pop up whenever I Google searched him. So I never saw that. I was talking about his comments leading into this game.
Well, he was talking about like it's not a bad trade. Like they're gonna.
Yeah, he's like I smile every time knowing that they traded a second round pick because I know how valuable a second round pick is, but I'm gonna deliver.
Yeah. But even when he said that, people were tripping on it, and it's like I get it. As a player, you always got that confidence, that belief. But right now, it's a lot easier for just the short term that we're gonna feel good about it. You know. If he turns into Randy Moss out there, I think it's a different scenario, but we got to wait to see if that ever happens. But right now, yeah, he hasn't been the most productive player post-trade, so yeah.
Big bank. Uchis.
What?
Thoughts on Miles this season and his future here?
Wait a minute. Who's this, man? Ooh.
Big bank Uchis.
Big bank Uchi?
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
He says thoughts on Miles this season and his future.
Extremely talented player, our best linebacker. I'm a huge fan of him. I'm worried about his health right now down the stretch because I think it's been the groin. I think that's what has been going on these past couple of weeks or whatever.
Knee was in the mix mid-season too, right?
So we've seen him either be limited where he's not able to play in these games or limited in the sense where he'll start a game and not finish or play the 4 quarters but not be his true self, and the productivity reflects that. When he's healthy, think about this. Before he started dealing with the groin and the knee stuff, man, he was on pace to set a Steelers record for tackles. Like, that's the type of pace that this dude was on. We know what he was able to do in terms of just sideline to sideline and physicality and leadership, but he just has to stay healthy. So I do think that, you still have him back next year. Would also have to look into like the contracts and like the money and stuff like that, but he still has a year left on his deal. I don't know cap hit wise if there's anything where you want to like tap in to move anything for money purposes, but we'll see when we get there. But I definitely, want him back at least for next year. Absolutely.
Mark T. Moats, what's your opinion on that call where they stripped Andrews, but refs called him down? Mm-hmm. I think he should have to stay down till the whistle.
Well, the reason why you can't do that.
Oh yeah,
the reason
why
you can't do that
is
the reason why you can't do that is this, man. When you talk 2-minute offense, that's their design. That's why they're allowed to give themselves up, because for them, they need to sprint to get that ball back to the middle of the field, because the referees take too long coming from the sideline to worry about trying to pick up the ball and then run over there to get in it. So that's why they call it giving yourself up. He never was trying to advance. You could even tell by how he got up, the tempo of how he got up. That was not I'm Mark Andrews, I'm trying to get up and run this ball. That's I'm trying to go set this ball so we can get this snap and wait for this ref. So like I said, it was heady by Minkah. It was cool to, like I said, to even create the scenario. But even when Minkah did it, I'm like, all right, bro. Like if Ravens was doing that to us, I would be pissed off. Like straight like that, bro. Like I get why you're doing it, and like I said, what you're supposed to do in those type of moments, man. Put it on the ref. Make the ref have to make a call. But yeah, like, bro, you tripping. Like, just think about that. Like, man, when we in our 2-minute drill, and it's like, oh, I got to pass to Deontay. He's running his ball back to the middle of the field. We all know he's running back to there. And so we knock that ball. Man, oh, fumble. No, man. But like I said, it was one of those things, man. I think it would be different if you could, because I think everybody also could he's trying to get up and go forward. He was, bro, I am done. I'm giving myself up. That's why I looked at it like that. But really heady play by Minkah, though, man. It is funny. I like his game, man. He do all the little slick things like that.
And was playing with that ankle injury.
Uh-huh.
Said it was killing him.
Yeah, he put the OG spat on that thing. I said, ooh, go with the black tape, bro. It look a little cooler.
Fran Bradford, longevity. TG talk like 22, runs like Marion Barber or something now.
Oh, yeah, you got to chill.
Now I wouldn't trade him.
Shout out to Marion Barber too, man. R.I.P. R.I.P. to Marion. But yeah, man. Najee last night was low key running like him. That's just not how he runs always. But last night he was definitely running like that. So if he runs like that, then yeah, you do got to worry about that longevity. But just in the sense of just running backs, we talked about it, man. They don't have long careers, and when you throw the first round label on it, and everything that comes with that from a value standpoint, from a just a cost standpoint, that's the whole argument over running backs and why Najee is even debated upon how he's debated upon. You can't control where you're drafted. That's the unfortunate part about it, and you can't take it back once it's there. But that always is going to stick with you in terms of how you're evaluated and how you're looked at this level, because it does matter regardless of if we try to minimize it or not. It does matter.
Fan Bradford, 41 and 93, outplaying 5-5. At some point, I would love for 3-4 to generate splash. 3-4 and 5-5 are going to be free agents most likely.
And we saw 34 generate splash last night. Third down, possession down, PBU. In fact, that's what helped force that punt when they decided to not kick that 59/60-yard field goal. Yeah, like I said, I think when you speak on splash for 34, you're looking for interceptions specifically. But we said, man, he's a different type of player than that, and he's giving us interceptions. But, yeah, to me, man, 34 is still a really good player. And we talked about why if 34 leaves, it's more so because of Casey, not necessarily because of anything 34 is doing wrong.
No, I'd like to have Edmonds back.
Yeah, it's just Casey's going to be a lot cheaper because he hasn't played as much this season. So I think it's more of that. But in terms of 41 and 93 outplaying 55, that's accurate, man. And that was part of the reason why, more so 93, because 41 has already been, like I said, he's not the starter, but he plays starter snaps. He outplays 55 in terms of snaps consistently pretty much right now. But 93, that was the one where it was kind of like the telltale sign to me when I saw them exclusively having 93 out there and putting him out there early in the game. The knock when we played Baltimore last time, we talked about it with some of that physicality and how we weren't the most physical coming downhill on some of those blockers and guys jumping out of their gaps trying to backdoor certain plays, and that was getting us gashed. Didn't see a lot of that last night. We'll just kind of,
No, it was more J.K. Dobbins, I guess.
J.K. was doing some J.K. things.
Butter or something. We couldn't tackle him.
J.K.
What the hell?
No, but J.K. was second-round draft pick. J.K. is a dope running back in his own right. And my thing is this. The first game should have been like that. If J.K. is going to have his 100, he's going to have to be special at times.
Yeah, we didn't give up the one big run in this one, at least. There was some that went for 10 or 15 yards, but
it's like, make him have to be special for him to get that. Don't give him 30, 40 yards because you hopping out your gap because you want to backdoor block. Like, that's what we don't want to happen. And I felt like last night we never did that. He got yards because he's a good running back. I'm a J.K. Dobbins fan. He can make you miss. He can run through tackles and stuff like that. He has a nice burst on him. And you saw that. But don't allow this man to just freely run through a hole. Like, nah. But you make him play like how he did last night, and you can see it was respectable. We all felt like, yo, he did good. No one's leaving out that stadium saying J.K. Dobbins sucks, but nobody left that stadium saying he took over the game and we couldn't handle him either. And that's the dynamic. Because versus good players at this level, they're going to make plays. But you can't self-inflict it and make a good play a great play. A 7-yard run, cool. Tackle it, get it on the ground. That 7-yard run can't be a 37-yard run because you backdoored this guard that was climbing up on you. That can't happen. And we didn't get that last night, so yeah, shout out to them dudes, man, on defense, man. But nah, man, 34 was doing his thing, though, bro. Yeah, like I said, we got to get more interceptions. And like I said, every player is different. I kind of look at it like you got run stoppers that play outside linebacker and you got pass rushers that play outside linebackers. When we talk about Baltimore traditionally, right, we know Terrell Suggs is like the big name, or sacks, but a lot of their guys, they're bigger body outside linebackers. We think about a Pernell McPhee. Pernell McPhee wasn't a guy that's going to just torch. Nah, but he's a guy that's going to be big and stuff to run. Still a very good player, but very different in terms of how you look at a Justin Houston per se, who is doing what? He's more rush. Let me get sacks. Just different dynamics in terms of the type of players that you're looking for. But you need them all out there. You need all the different type of guys. You need guys that can be physical and play the run. You need guys that can rush the passer and do that stuff. You need a Minkah Fitzpatrick that can be that guy that can just roam back there, get interceptions, fly around, make plays. But you need a Terrell Edmonds who's going to do that grunt work, going to be in the box, going to be a short tackler, going to make the plays that he needs to make in zone coverage and stuff like that. It's like the Spillane conversation. We go down the list. It's like, man, certain players, they don't necessarily wow you, but not every player at this level is going to be a wow you type player. You got to have consistent players, though. And that's the one thing that Edmonds has been since he's been here. Super consistent, baby.
Darius Mayo. So you're saying there's a chance?
Hey, yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Love the adversity from our squad. Complimentary football. Yeah, I haven't heard that phrase in a little bit. 100% right. Defense got to stop when we need it. Got the ball back for the offense. Offense takes care of business. And then the defense makes the final stop. It really was complimentary football. He says, at its finest. And then on to the revenge game against Cleveland.
Don't you love the revenge game, baby? I'm super excited about the revenge game. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, indeed. I just remembered something. We announced it before, but let me make sure I make the announcement again before I forget. Moats mailbags. Remember, we want to get it so that way we got your questions specifically, because not everybody gets a chance to super chat or get a chance to dive in while we're doing the live shows. And for some of y'all, you might want to feel a little bit more part of the show. Well, we started a concept a while ago when we first started this thing out, Moats mailbag, where you're able to ask a specific question about anything Steelers related or whatever, and, give you the answer to that thing. But the way that we're morphing it is to make it more personable. Make sure you just record yourself, selfie style, and then submit that thing either to the website, arthurmoats.com, or you can send it an email, moatswinners@gmail.com. Whatever your question is, and in that way, you have your little cell phone on the camera. I put my joint on the camera, we splice it up, put it on the channel and stuff like that on the website, man. So, just another way to keep bridging this thing. So, like I said, man, either on the website, arthurmoats.com, or moatswinners@gmail.com. But, whatever your questions are, comments, stuff like that, get a little action with it. All right? Holla. See, I remembered it, so I'm good now.
John McCartney. What's with the late offensive production? How can we get that the whole game? Is it the play calling, players getting in rhythm, or something else?
When you say late offensive production, were we not producing? Like, what? I guess specifically, what are you talking about?
I think he's talking about 7 points final drive.
Specifically just touchdowns. Well, the simple answer to that is this. When the field gets condensed, it's a lot harder to score for anybody. And when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens, they're one of the top red zone defenses also. Think about the graphics that they kept talking about last night with their defense. You notice they don't give up a ton of touchdowns, and they don't give up a ton of touchdowns in the red zone. When the field is condensed, the execution becomes even more prevalent. And when the field is condensed, those mismatches that you might have in between the 20s, big speed guys, you don't have that down there anymore because I'm not worried about you running over top of me. And you got multiple ways of how to combat elite wide receivers or elite quarterbacks. You can blitz them and make them have to get rid of the ball very fast because you don't have to worry about the vertical threat. So now a guy like a James Pierre, who may not have the foot speed to guard a guy in the 20s, when the field is condensed and he's only having to worry about running with this guy for 25 yards at full speed, he could do that. So you can get a little bit more aggressive. Or you take the approach of, okay, I'm going to rush 3 guys and I'm going to max coverage. I'm going to drop 8 guys back there. And now you got to hold this ball. And if your offensive line can't protect, now you're trying to hold this ball, but you can't hold the ball because I got guys actually rushing on you. So it's just a lot of different things. And then when you're talking about the windows, you got to see it, and it happens extremely fast in the red zone because, once again, the field is condensed. So that window for that throw when you're at midfield, you got a lot more time to make it. That window's a lot wider. When it's the red zone and it's condensed, you got one angle to make that throw, and if you don't hit it right there, it's a wrap. So that's the other reason, why we don't have as much production offensively in terms of scoring. Because to me, I still think we're very productive offensively. When you're talking about double-digit play drives, you're not having those at this level if you're not a productive offense, if you're not a consistent offense. And that is what they've been showing. And that's not just this game. That's, season-wide. You look at the Steelers in terms of double-digit play drives. They're one of the league leaders in that because they are very productive in that phase. But that's the big reason why they struggle in the red zone, why a lot of teams at this level struggle in the red zone. The red zone is tough. That's why it's such an important piece. That's why when you're talking about the preparation, we put a lot more stock in our preparation for red zone defenses because it's not weighted the same. When you're down in that area, man, points are at stake and every little thing matters. The difference between, you getting a touchdown and you having to settle for a field goal could be a holding penalty. It could be an illegal formation. It could be something so small. It could be a difference of a drop. And those are some of the concepts that, this team right now, as they're continuing to grow, they're learning that and they're getting better with those executions. But I look at it like this. I would much rather them be able to score touchdowns in the gotta have it moments, because you can catch back up in terms of just learning how to score earlier in games or executing a little bit better in the red zone. But you don't always know if a team is going to have that gene or a team is going to have that confidence where they can collectively execute and score a touchdown in a gotta have it situation. Like, that's what makes it so impressive as like a defender. It's way more impressive when I can see a guy do it when everybody knows they have to score right here. It's not like first quarter where it's like you can settle for a field goal. It ain't the end of the world. You score a touchdown, great, cool. Man, how many teams score touchdowns first 2-3 quarters, but the game is still close? It's 28-21 or it's 28-31. And it's like, okay, can you score when it's a gotta have it moment though? When they're going to be calling their best calls, when they're going to be playing their best players, when they're going to be putting out and knowing that, hey man, this guy on third down likes to run play action pass. All right, well, we're going to make sure we call this blitz to pull up that.
When the pressure's on.
You know what I mean? Like, not everybody can do that. So once again, I don't look at it as a negative that, it has to be or that it's been taking place at the end of these games. I actually look at it as a really dope positive, because if you can do it in that part of the game where it's the most critical, where the stakes are the highest, and this is the moment where everybody, finds out who they are. If you're able to do that consistently, that's special. Because like I said, the other stuff will happen. That will develop, but you either have that or you don't have that. And one of the analogies that I always love, and I'm not even going to steal it, is from my man Danny Smith. We would talk about just the simple fact of performance under pressure. And he would say, most is this simple. When we talk about making plays out here, and we talk about just life, man, anybody can make a play out here. At this level, we're all nice. It's like, yo, he took a 2x4. Say, man, you put this 2x4 on the ground right now, and Deke, you could walk this 2x4 like it's nothing, right? You probably moonwalk on that thing like you Michael Jackson, huh? You do a little thriller thing up there, huh? Because it's on the ground right now, right? It's no pressure in this thing. It's cool. Now, say we went downtown, though. And you know that big Highmark, the Highmark building that's downtown? The one that sit like really, really high up in there? Now, what if we put that 2x4 up there by itself? And you like, man, it's kind of like you walking the plank. Now, it's still sturdy, but you got to walk on that thing. You ain't going to be doing all that moonwalking and thriller. You're going to be on that thing sweating like a stripper, right? Oh, yep. Lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Bubba, I hope I don't fall. I'm nervous. Daddy, I don't want to go up there no more. Performance under pressure. Not everybody can do it in those moments. When you talk about those critical 2-minute drives, man, that's that performance under pressure. That's when you can't make a mistake. And not everybody's able to do that, man. So, like I said, with the offense productivity, I look at it as a positive right now that they're at least getting it in that vein, because the other stuff will come down the line.
Oh, 100%. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Just harder to score in the red zone. But also, we got to look at the game flow mattering. For this Steelers-Ravens game, there were 2 possessions by each team in the first quarter. I think they averaged a possession and a half throughout the first half each.
Think about it. We had a possession in the first quarter. They had a possession in the first quarter.
No, well, I'm sorry. A possession and a half for if you're averaging it per quarter. But I think we each had 3 possessions in the first half.
Yeah, total. It was nuts, bro.
One each in the first quarter.
It was nuts.
That's that type of game. Yeah. And so we're not going to get all the possessions that we might likely get over the course of a normal game because this is the Ravens. And we were both running the ball. It goes back to the Falcons. You look, remember that Falcons game? We only had like 6 or 7 drives. All the drives ended in like field goals or something positive. It was pretty much the same thing here. I think we had 2 3-and-outs. Was that it? And then punted. Everything else, long drives, Boz missed the field goal. Like I think we'd be talking a little bit differently again if Boz is just, I don't know what the hell's going on with him this year, but if he makes that field goal and that penalty doesn't happen, it's 6-6 going in a half.
It's different, absolutely.
Instead of them being up because of the touchdown, and all that BS and stuff, but yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, you're right. The most important thing or the most positive thing and takeaway from this is we just got back-to-back game-winning drives in crucial moments by a rookie quarterback.
In prime time, bro.
With a bunch of other rookies and young players that are on offense, too.
All right, it ain't like we got a ton of vets out here. That's been one of the other knocks on our team. The youth. We're like, yo, they don't have the guy that you could just look to and say, hey, I've been here before. Follow my lead. They don't have a lot of that right now on offense, man. But you're seeing them learn that. They're learning it together, and that's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, and we were moving the ball. Like that's the other thing. We
That's
were
right,
just
yeah.
moving the ball.
Absolutely,
so I'm
bro.
still looking at this offense with success. If I had to give Matt Canada a grade or however I want to look at this game, it's a positive. It's a thumbs up. Another good job.
Canada said, okay.
But people would just probably want to look at the 13 points
Canada
and
said,
we scored a touchdown
Canada
in
said,
the last
I got
drive.
heat for y'all. Canada says, y'all going to holler about some reports of me getting fired. Watch me jet sweep them, Derek Watt them, and I'm a game-winning drive them to death. And that's what he did. So shout out to Matt Canada.
No, can Kenny win Rookie of the Year?
I don't know.
The problem is people are just going to look at stats.
Yeah,
because
that's going to be tough.
That's the problem. But what he's done, these last couple games, since the bye, in terms of the impact, I don't know if there's a rookie greater thus far in the second half of the season. If you're just not going to look at stats, I say like he definitely has a case. But people are going to look at what is he at right now? 6 touchdowns, like 9 picks or something.
Yeah.
Now he does have some rushing touchdowns too and some rushing yards.
Yeah, but you know how people.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
someone's going to Garrett Wilson or Olave or maybe one of these running backs like Kenneth Walker. I don't know.
Kenneth, yeah.
But I'm telling you, in terms of just straight impact, I think Pickett has had more impact on the Steelers than those guys have had on their teams respectively.
Okay.
Quarterback has a big part of that too.
You know, that's how I look at it. So I'm like, I ain't even about to go there. Yeah.
No, but what I mean is like quarterback's such an important position though, too.
But I'm with you on that. I'm not going to go there because quarterbacks are always going to take the president in any argument like this when you're talking value. So even though we can make a case that Kenneth Walker, what he means to Geno Smith in terms of that running game, is never going to fully connect or resonate because quarterback is just always viewed as the most important position. So yeah, that's what's like.
Tristan Love, Kenny F. and Pickett, franchise QB performance.
Let's go.
100%. Let's go, UW.
Hey yo, Steel City 74 said Brock Purdy winning Rookie of the Year.
He's been playing good.
He has low key.
He's been playing real good.
That's crazy. Shout out to Brock Purdy though, man. Hey, they're the only 2 quarterbacks that was nice in this draft right now, huh?
Yeah, Ritter has not been that good. Although he had a decent stat line whenever I saw on the bottom ticker. He only missed 1 incompletion, but and they won the game, right? They beat the Cardinals.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, Malik Willis hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Sam Howell hasn't even got a chance.
Isn't Corral's hurt, right?
Yeah, he got hurt in the
preseason. Yeah.
He's been out for the whole year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what about because Zappy, did he ever have a bad game?
Oh, he was bad. Yeah.
I knew he had the one game where he was hot. I didn't know if he had another game.
Oh, yeah, because what happened, they benched Mac in the first quarter, and that's when Belichick said afterwards, he's like, we were going to play both quarterbacks the whole time. Yeah. But when Zappy came in, he was really good in the second quarter, and the place was going crazy. I think this was Monday Night Football. And then he was terrible in the second half, and the Bears blew out the Patriots.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go, UW. As much as I would like to see Tomlin win Coach of the Year, it's Dan Campbell's to win if he beats Green Bay next week. Damn.
Now Detroit, if they win, they're in, and Green Bay, if they win, they're in, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Seahawks, they're on the outside looking in. They need a tiebreaker.
Seahawks need Green Bay to lose, and they have to win.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only way Seattle gets in. Green Bay gets in if Green Bay just wins.
Oh, wait, so would they have the tiebreaker over the Lions?
Green Bay has the tiebreaker, yeah. All Green Bay has to do is just win.
No, what I mean, the
The
Seahawks over the Lions.
Yes, the Seahawks, yeah. The way it works is, literally, they showed it last night. It was Green Bay.
Lions win and Seahawks win. Seahawks are in.
No, if the Lions win,
okay.
No. No. I said it wrong. It's as simple as this. Seattle has to win, and Green Bay would have to lose. Yeah, Green Bay can't win. If Green Bay loses and Seattle wins, Seattle would get it. Period. Like, yeah.
Over the Lions, then.
Yeah,
the Lions would win.
Period. Yep.
So Lions need to win and Seahawks need to lose.
Yeah, for Detroit to get in.
What's funny is if you look at the chart right now, too, Lions are in right now.
Yeah,
But it's funny how the tiebreakers could change.
Because they were saying, like, how technically Green Bay has the highest percentage to make the playoffs, even though right now they're outside looking in.
How about that?
Nah.
I told you guys. They said Rodgers was done. They said Brady was done. Deke knows football.
Or you just holding on to these old quarterbacks, man.
No, dude. Hey, look, come on, dude. What do you mean? I mean, it didn't have to be a Rodgers game for Green Bay. Dude, Brady just threw for, what did he throw for 450 and 4 touchdowns?
No, but I was just laughing. I was like, yo, it's the Green Bay. I was like, yo, wait. I was watching a little bit of that Green Bay game, man. That was not all that. All right.
He didn't need to do anything. That was your boy kind of imploding a little bit.
You know my dog is good for one of those a year. Let my man have a game, all right?
Yeah,
it was not his finest moment. And I was super hot because I'm like, bro.
It was a big game.
And I'm
they would have won.
And I'm like, Jared Alexander was talking trash. I'm like, bro, I need this game. Don't you come out here, Kirk, and be on some nonsense. Kirk, I need that dog. I need Kirko. That was not Kirko. That was not Kirko, bro. I don't know.
He was bad, but it didn't look like Justin Jefferson was getting that open.
Well, they showed a couple of highlights, but let's be real.
Did you see Alexander gritty on him after that incompletion? That was wild.
But that's my thing. Jair, he does that. That's the intensity he plays with. He played with that same intensity the first matchup. The difference was, though, Kirk was a lot better, but their team was a lot better too, though, man. And that was the other part of it, man. Green Bay just got up on them, and when you get, up on a team like that, sometimes it can get a little gory. But yeah, shout out to them dudes, man. But Kirk was due for one of them games. You know that. So yeah, let my dog Kirk have. I'm just glad it happened this week and not in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You coming with you?
I think you're lying to yourself.
This is a sign of things to come. I needed that one now, so that way he could be, humbled and then recovered come, Super Wild Card weekend, baby. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, this is the Kirk Cousins I know.
Chill, bro, chill.
It was a big game at Lambeau. They need to win, keep the one, potentially get the 1 seed.
You think he tripping on that 1 seed, baby? He ain't looking at the 1 seed. He already got the division. The division locked up.
That'd give him a free pass in the playoffs.
He don't need that free pass. He gonna go ahead and win one because a win is more important than a bye for Kirk. Think about this. If Kirk losing the division round because he had the first round bye, you still not gonna respect him. But if he losing the division round after winning in the wild card, it's gonna mean a little bit more for him. So Kirk don't need that bye week, man. He ain't tripping.
Young Shacky. Moats, I don't know if you've ever done this, but you should do a film breakdown of your highlights. Also, Kenny is money on the run. Yeah, he's throwing the runs.
Kenny on the run. No, absolutely.
Been really good.
Absolutely. And I actually have not done a film study of my highlights. I'm actually in the process. I'm almost finished creating my little highlight tape. You know what I'm saying?
For G.
Yeah, man. For G, I'm gonna throw it on the YouTube, man. So y'all can see a little bit as well, man. But I'm to the fun part now. I have everything cut up. Now I just get to sauce it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get my music pumped. I'm trying to see how aggressive I want to be with my sound.
Get some of that Drake on there.
You know what I'm saying? See Drake, that's what we different, Deke. Drake, he's nice. He makes nice music. But with this last album, I'm the type of person that skips his verse to get to 21 verse. You catch my drift? I need a little bit more aggression in my life. Yeah. So, I don't know if Drake's going to make the cut. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he's going to make the cut.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's go, UW. Okay, so we got, 13 minutes now.
Yeah.
I'll try to go through these efficiently. Let's go, UW. Also, shout out to Eli Rogers getting another chance in the XFL.
Oh,
that league has some
shout out.
talent receiver across the board. Should be a good spring league.
No, shout out. I didn't even know my dog got picked up down there, man. Believe. That's the homie right there, man. So, yeah, shout out to them.
Shane Carter Jr. What's up, guys? This team has to stop taking years off my life. LOL. But Tomlin is unbelievable for getting them here. What can the haters say now? Playoffs hot.
Hey, bro, ain't that the truth? And potentially another no losing season. All the chips falling out to this last game, man. I don't know how he got back to this point.
I like it and I hate it at the same time. It's not something we should be celebrating, but at the same time,
it is something you should be celebrating.
It's a good feat.
Why is no losing season?
Because the main goal is the Super Bowl.
But how do you get to the Super Bowl?
I get it. That's what I mean. So it is something to take note of.
It's
impressive.
Yeah. Are you gonna hate on the first prerequisite to winning the Super Bowl?
Exactly. Like being in the mix at least.
What? That is never a negative.
We're playing a meaningful game in Week 18.
That is literally never a negative to me, man. Never.
Staying clear. Facts though. Deke, love what you do. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what take he's praising, but
it's probably either KP or some Ben, one or the other.
Probably.
Yeah.
Remix. Shout out to Bears for the top second round pick now. Oh, is it the top?
Bro.
Texans just got smoked.
They
got smoked by the Jaguars. I know Bears lost too.
We're flirting with potentially, like I said, it being a low key.
Well, right now it would be the first second round pick.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Where we're at,
first round pick. It'd be 33.
We
maybe that's what he's talking about.
Nice position right now.
Shout out to the Dolphins for Minkah and Flores.
Yes.
Losing their first rounder. That's exactly what he's talking about. Makes the Bears pick better. Win next game for Coach T.
Hey,
how about we win for the playoffs too?
For both, absolutely.
The Funky Seahead. EA/Madden Mobile is disrespectful. They hate the Steelers.
Oh, no.
Can we get some iconics? A KP8, GP, Minkah. Also enough of KP. Arm strength hate. Bullets.
Ooh.
Yep, he shut it down last week.
Uh-huh.
And again, yeah, passes on the money.
Absolutely.
Saw a lot of zip on the ball yesterday.
Steven Sims, boy, he rifle. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Big Bang Gucci's.
I'm really upset that people really tried to question who he was throwing it to in that last play, though, bro.
Makes me
What
sick.
are they doing?
Makes me sick, dude.
Y'all play too much.
They can't respect
I really
greatness.
thought it was just a hater texting me, man. This is a legit thing. It's
I
people out
told you,
here.
my buddy brought it up.
It's
but
literally people out
he
here,
was an
bro.
early Mitch guy.
This is
So, I mean, that
crazy.
explains it. But yeah, there's other people in the chat. So
It's other people.
maybe there's a
like,
conspiracy
yo,
about it.
I was unaware, man. This is crazy.
Big Bang Gucci's. I'm surprised Deke pronounced Uchis right.
There
Big
it
Bang
is.
Gucci's is a song by Drakeo, the
There it
ruler who
is.
passed away last year, keeping
There
the
it
truth
is.
alive. And he says Sabotage 7. Welcome to the crew, Big Bang Gucci's, the
Welcome to the crew.
Sabotage 7 Club.
Let's go.
Seeks chat. What the heck is going on with Ball's worst field goal percentage in the league?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Just don't say nothing slick. We good, man.
Slick?
Yeah, because you be texting some slick stuff every time we start talking bots. I don't like your responses at times, man. Yeah, it just
I didn't say anything bad.
This the emoji you be using.
What did I say?
It just looked.
I don't even remember. What was
it
the
was an
emoji?
ice emoji. Yeah, and I don't like, what you be implying with the ice. Catch my drift? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I just remember another kicker we
Nah,
had.
I don't remember nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
His last 2 or 3 games,
I
he wasn't missing anything.
Listen, I think we should just chill on all that, man.
No, but I'm still fine with Boss. It hit the it hit the post.
It hit the post, bro.
Like he ain't missing it like the Ohio State kickers.
Yo, wow.
You know,
I thought you said you weren't gonna get on the Ohio State kicker. Now
I feel bad.
You
for
gonna
him.
use him as an analogy? He ain't missing like Ohio State did. Dang, bro, that's
I'm just
foul,
speaking the
bro.
truth.
That's crazy, man.
Mike Hood, Bus played 13 years running hard. Was he an anomaly? I hear you say Najee won't have longevity.
Yeah, Bussy was an anomaly for multiple reasons. Number one, the size that he played with. He wasn't a 220-pound running back. That was we'll just say very, very large
With some nimble
running
feet, too.
back. Yeah, very nimble and awesome vision, but also the style of play back then was different. You have fullbacks. He still took shots. It was just, those backs back then, I don't know why, but some of those guys just typically lasted longer. You talk about an Eddie George, you talk about an Emmitt Smith, but at the same time, I look at a Terrell Davis. He didn't last as long. Everybody's different. Brandon Jacobs, he had a run, but he didn't last crazy long. Peyton Hillis had a run. He didn't last crazy long.
It was 1 year for him.
But either way, though, it's just like with certain, I don't know why, but with running backs, they take a ton of shots. We talk about Adrian Peterson and a Shady McCoy, but then I think of what was the cat that was out in Kansas City? Jamal Charles. How he wasn't able to last that long in terms of like the injuries and stuff like that. It's just one of those positions, man, and that's why it's a lot harder to bank on those guys consistently lasting 10, 13 plus years. You can have guys do that at that position, but it's more of an outlier. Whereas when you talk receivers, it's not absurd to say the receiver is going to play 10 years in this league and be dominant for a lot of those years because we've seen a ton of those guys do that. It's not far-fetched to say a quarterback is going to play 10, 15 years in this league because we see a lot of them do that, or the elite guys at least do that. But with running backs, it's not a lot of 10 and 15-year running backs that are elite still and getting it done like that. A lot of those dudes, they really fall off a cliff, so to speak. I think of, what was the cat that was, Dallas Cowboys running back went to Philly. Oh, my goodness. He led the league in rushing.
Marco.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray. He's another guy. It's like, man, he was on a tear. He was hot. Then
Chip Kelly's system didn't help him out.
But either way, it's just like, L. Bell, Gurley. We go down the list. Even Zeke, we're seeing it now with Zeke. It's like, it's just harder for them dudes to maintain that health and that burst as they continue to age. So, yeah, man, with Bussy, he was just different. Yeah, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'm about to say he's a Hall of Famer.
Brilla 92. Wonder if Bush thinks it was good for the young fella to get.
Hey,
some
you got to
snap.
chill.
Gotta give 8 his credit. Looked like Big Ken on that TD.
Hey, son, y'all petty. Yeah, man, I think it was good that, the young guy got some reps out there. Man, I was happy for him, man. We need all that.
That was Buddy Johnson last year, right? In the
Minnesota
Vikings game.
Vikings, like, bro, no, that is not what you want to see, man.
Dondre Izzo. On that game-winning drive, they compared KP to Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't unsee it. They both are not overly fast, but know how to avoid pressure long enough to get a pass off and throw their receivers open.
This is true.
When did that happen? How did I miss that?
No, it was literally when he threw it to Najee. Because Collinsworth was like, oh, this is a play that if how Collinsworth does. So he's like, yo, if Mahomes did this, they would be putting him in the Hall of Fame. He runs away from the defender, got the pressure. It's a critical moment, and he throws a dime leading Najee Harris. And I think that's why.
And people hate on Collinsworth.
But I think that's why people were so like.
That was a nice comment by him.
I think
speaking facts.
But I also think that might be why people got triggered by the Mahomes comparison. And now they're like, he wasn't even throwing it to Najee. He was throwing it to the other dude. Because all that was said in that moment. Like Kyles would really paint the scene, bro. You would have thought that was
him.
like the Super Bowl game-winning throw. Like he painted that scene perfectly. I was over here like, dang, Collinsworth, like, all right now, like that's what we on. So but that's I also think why people were a little bit more heightened on their criticism of that play as well in terms of who he was throwing it to, because the way Collinsworth sold it sounded beautiful. It was like one of those when you talk about an Emmy or whatever award you want to win for your broadcasting, you put that clip up there. Like he was going to work on that. That was highlight reel.
Good on Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah. My heart was racing. Kenny's got that clutch gene.
Let's get it.
We only got a few more, right?
Yeah. So
come on, yeah. Mike Tomlin once again shutting everyone up. #GOAT.
I would agree, man. My dude just keeps the team relevant, keeps them winning, and keeps them fighting. When they say he's lost the team, when he's lost his touch, or they're hollering about, should we fire him or move him or whatever else, trade and all that other nonsense, man. Keep my man. Let him roll.
Sean McCartney didn't mean to make it that negative. I guess I don't know what he's talking about. I mean
he's talking about the offensive productivity. It wasn't. We didn't look at it as overly negative. We were just talking about like the difference of like what specifically we're talking about. That's all.
Yeah, he says we could be getting Muth the ball more, maybe.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Dondre Izzo.
And how'd you feel about Muth, though? Like, I feel like, bro, he definitely balling. I still feel like he can give me more, though.
I think we can get more from Deontay and Pickens, too.
I feel like I get more, bro.
It's just not needed with the running game.
I'm with you. But no, I'm saying even, like, as it currently is, I'm just like, man, I don't know. I still think I got more. I think Pat got a little bit more of him.
How about that throw on the final drive? Pickett to him where...
Oh, he got to get up under that thing?
Got under it. Pickett made he made it perfect. He didn't lead Muth into the
danger.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
And it was on the run,
doing
too.
a good job seeing that his zone, sitting down, securing the catch, hands underneath. So, yeah, man.
Oh, how about this one, too? Probably being overlooked a little bit. Whenever Pickett was telling Deontay to go down and he was going to the sideline.
Because he was hurt. Yeah.
That's some thinking right there.
Let's go, man.
Some leadership. Dondre Izzo, the way our young guys learn is insane. At the beginning of the game, KP and 22, on a similar play, they won the game because 22 took too long to readjust his route, but the second time, it was muscle memory.
There it is. I like it. And Kenny was throwing it to Najee. We're all agreeing upon that. Unless
I have no question about it.
There we go. Boom. It was a completion. Man, y'all got me. I don't even want to look back at it now. Oh, man, I don't like how y'all do it.
Dude, it's not. I've watched it a couple times.
I was about to say, I don't feel like it was Najee. It was Najee, man. Sims was in the vicinity, but it was Najee.
Jay Green has joined the upper room.
Shout out to Jay Green, and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And welcome to the family, baby. We appreciate your support.
Calmonier, who is your Steelers MVP at this point in the season?
At this point in the season?
Is it Minkah?
Isn't that who we said last time? We said Minkah on defense. I went Mason Cole on offense. And we were talking... Yeah.
I'd go. I'm sorry, I'm doing it. I don't care.
That's cool.
Minkah on defense, KP on offense.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, definitely Minkah for me. Yeah. Offensively, I don't know, man.
everyone's
all them because like
everyone's
I look at
grown and has done
Right.
better just all together.
I look at Kenny, I look at Najee, I look at George, I look at Deontay.
Everyone.
Yeah. If you're gonna go Kenny, I'll go Deontay because I think that he's still been one of them dudes that through the adversity he's still been a consistent contributor regardless of if it's been Mitch or Kenny at quarterback. He continues to just show up. So I would go with him on offense. But yeah, I mean I don't think we can have a wrong pick for the offense side of the ball because all them dudes like you said they all been growing up together. But defensively I would definitely go Mink. Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah, the big plays, the consistency, the intensity. Yeah.
And then last one, Samurai Finn, no better feeling than a Baltimore crowd silenced.
Boy, ain't that the truth. Seeing all those sad rap bird fans.
Remix says, hoping Najee said F. Collinsworth. He hated it. Well, Najee made the catch. It should be, well, wait, hold on. What am I missing here? He's saying F. Why would he say F?
Well, think about it. Most people don't like Collinsworth because when he's talking about their team in prime time, people feel upset about it. But when he says something good, then people like Collinsworth. So I don't know why.
I've always thought Collinsworth was pretty good.
Yeah, but people.
Most of these broadcasters are pretty good. I mean, Romo, Nance.
Yeah, but people be having like opinions about these dudes, though, man.
Both good. Yeah. Al Michaels and Herbstreit started to kind of like find their groove late on Thursday night.
Bro, I'm with you, man.
Who's the other one? Oh, Buck Aikman. Yeah, that's a classic duo right there on Monday Night Football now.
Yeah,
I think all those guys are pretty good.
It's
some of these weird
really
1 o'clock games where you get some randos.
Hey, because you never know, bro. 1 o'clock,
mispronunciations.
So you gonna get that BT?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't even care about the mispronunciations. It's some of their takes that they throw in. I'm like, this take's terrible.
But you could tell it's like you're not watching it like that, and you just making a hot take right here. Yeah.
Okay, 11:31. This is the last one.
All right.
Luca, is it me or does Canada love the jet sweep as much as Todd loves that bubble screen?
Hey, as long as they both work it, they both work though.
That's a good point.
But you are very accurate with that. That is his baby. That is his calling card.
We got a screener too.
Yeah,
we got a classic
the jet sweep is his calling card. It's like, man, when they talk about like different people in the world, it's like, hey man, when they left their mark. What was their mark? It was a jet sweep. Whew. I knew it had to be Matt Canada. I seen the jet sweep, baby. But it's definitely been a vibe, bro. As it always is.
You gotta make moves, huh?
I do though, man. So yeah, got radio about to happen. 12 o'clock. SNR tap in, and then after that, man, I'm on the road. I'm going on up to make sure that all the spirits are where they need to be in the 716. Okay, so life is good, man. I'm excited. It's a nice victory Monday. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Real quick, Damon Brown, if you look at the film, Sims is pretending to make a toe drag catch to pull the other defender away from Najee. Definitely throwing to 22. Shout out to Trina and shout out to 93.
Right. There we go then, baby. There we go. He ain't shout you out for your... That's crazy. And shout out to Deke for his interview questions, too. I got your back, Damon. I know you forgot him. Shout out to Deke for the interview questions as well. All right. So, now with that being said, man, appreciate each and every one of y'all. Like I said, hope y'all had a great new year bringing this thing on in, man. Safe, healthy, and everybody's good. And like I said, man, let's rock out this shit. Have another awesome year, baby. Let's get it. So, until next time, baby.
Peace.